There we go.
Coming at you live
From the internet.
from the internet.
We're not live, though.
And yeah, and from the.
I saved that for them. They won't like
Did you
it,
really?
but I did it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, actually, it was pretty satisfying. I liked it.
That's all that matters.
Are you
To
doing
you.
it for my pleasure? Oh, okay, there it is. I was like, you're doing it for my pleasure. Absolutely not. God. So I would like to unpack the conversation that you started.
I did not start the conversation.
Okay, you made a claim.
Well, after there was already a display,
Okay, so I was flicking my nipples to warm them
Right.
up for the crowd.
and I felt the need to express that I don't like nipple stuff. It doesn't do it for me.
Mm-hmm. And I agree. I find it actually it's too much,
I just don't care for it.
and I'm like, please don't, don't. Like it's almost like too ticklish, sensitive, but it's like you're not being cute, you're not being funny. Like, please stop. Brandon
Yeah.
twisted so many of my titties.
Yeah, I don't get pleasure from the sensation.
I only know pain, and I refuse to learn pleasure. and I'm not into pain.
It's different shit for different people, and it's not for me.
No, you're not buying that shit.
No,
Why should you?
it's not for sale in this house.
I just don't understand, like, any of it. Like, stop. If I say no, no means no,
Yes,
unless
unless it has been priorly established.
yes, in a very consensual setting of like
and when there is still another way of expressing no other than saying the word no, then
Yeah.
sure.
it's that like no, oh, it's problematic. You don't understand.
I don't understand.
Here, remove your shirt. Let me
Well, I don't. It's not for me.
suckle straight from the teeth.
I don't like it.
No, it just it doesn't do anything for me. I don't want to
Yeah,
see
it just doesn't get me going.
It's nothing. But like, if it does for you, good for you.
Good for you.
Go off
Just
and
find
get off. As
somebody
I
else
always
who
say.
also likes that.
Yeah, I'm into nipple play. Oh, okay. What do you want me to do? No. I want to play with the nipple, which is problematic.
Then we're not going to be a great match in that case, and I'm sorry to that person. It's just not going to happen.
It's rough, buddy.
Because here's the thing: some people would be like, "Okay, well then just compromise." Like, if they want to do that to you and you don't, that's not really your vibe. Then like, is there something that you want that like might not really be their vibe? And I'm like, I get that. There's value in that, but also maybe just find someone where you're on the same vibe.
Yeah,
and then
if-
everyone gets to be happy all the
If
time.
it's something you really want to do, like,
if something that's important to you,
because like for me personally, like I don't want to compromise on it. Like, it's not cute to me.
right? I don't want it.
I am continue. I have stopped any sort of like hot voice, and I have said, please stop. I don't like this. And then it's not a game.
You're that Vine of the girl where she's like, "Bass stop,
Bass stop.
bass stop, bass stop."
Like,
Play too much.
That's it. It's too much. It's like,
I say stop.
Jesus.
Play too much. I feel that Vine in my soul. Is that a Vine or is that TikTok? I don't fucking
It's the
know
same.
anymore. It's a short form video.
You can get away with calling it a Vine if it's in the spirit of a Vine in terms of length and quality.
I think that one really is a Vine
Yeah.
because it is short, and TikToks usually take advantage of their time, and they run a little long.
Liberally. As soon as a creator is able to post more than a minute videos, oh, trust me, honey, you'll know.
Yeah,
I said it before, I said it again. You send me a TikTok and it's more than a minute long and it's not funny in the first 10 seconds, I'm past it.
that's the thing. Is like TikToks, you have a lot more freedom, which is great, but also
The voice.
it can be a problem. Like a Vine, even if you hate it, it's over in what 6 seconds, 7 seconds. I don't remember.
Yeah, 6.
So like, there's something there where it's like, even if it's shit, at least it's over with soon. A TikTok, if it's a bad TikTok, ooh.
Yeah, and you're like,
Ooh,
you're in
bitch.
and it's like, is this going to hit? And a lot of that too is like the person sending it to you could provide more context.
Right.
I'd be like, this isn't a funny. Like this, hey, this is actually kind of interesting.
Yeah.
You might like it. Because
Not
then you're
every
going
TikTok
in.
is supposed to be funny, and that's okay.
If I'm being told, hey, like this is kind of interesting, I thought you might be interested in it. And I'm like, okay, you find this interesting. Okay, I am now more willing to go past the 1 minute barrier, knowing that it's not funny. And then I go, okay.
That was not funny.
And then and not funny, didn't laugh. Delete your account, Flop. Forget our friendship, Flop.
Yeah.
I wish.
I mean,
so I have a few things that I wrote down because I actually did things this weekend.
You said that like I was implying you didn't.
No. I normally don't do a whole lot of things.
Okay.
Like in our this is our Grace Helbig arc.
In what sense?
You need to go and do things in order to have more things to talk about.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Which like I didn't plan on doing anything this weekend, if I may.
You might
go into this. I should say. I realize I'm just going in barreling, as I always do.
I was gonna say what,
but it's important to slow down and make sure that people are on the same page. And actually, I'm gonna have that conversation first.
Let's have that conversation.
So I come home the other day, post
Malone
Civ 5.
Oh yeah.
Which, on a side note, I will bring up the one point that I had. I found it fucking hysterical as we were sitting there playing Fall Guys when I first came over upstairs. And I'm like, wait, are we playing on Bub? And you're like, oh, yeah, but he changed it, whatever.
Bub's gone.
And a solid minute passes before Brandon goes, you been telling people about Bub?
I'm like, I told everybody about Bub.
I'm like, he said it on the podcast
about Bub.
Because he's like, I went into Steve's stream on his birthday, and people were calling me Bub.
Calling him Compact Bub.
So for everyone who was there, thank you. You are titans of industry.
Thank you for attacking him.
Because he deserves it.
Just a little bit.
Small amount.
A little bit of humbling.
Yeah. And that's a bundle. So I was talking to my sister, and I had like a very real conversation of sorts in the backyard. You ever have... No. When you lived with your sister, it was in an apartment, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't have the backyard experience like before you go inside. That wouldn't have been... You wouldn't have seen her on the stairs or what have you.
No.
Yeah. So I was like on my way home, and I hear coughing in the backyard, and I'm like, I'm going to go through the back of the house, I guess, because I'll go
honk on that Bobo.
I'll go say hello. No.
Well, I heard coughing.
Well, that's just wheezing Nyla straps. And I was like, oh, my sister's out there. I was like, hey, how you doing? I was like, cleaning the pool and shit because it's been storming so much. It's almost like you just don't. You just kind of give up, and you're like, I'll do a big sweep of it.
You wait till the storms have passed for a bit.
Exactly. And so my sister, for my birthday, her and her boyfriend actually went and took me out to downtown Phoenix. We went and saw a comedian. It was a very interesting time all around. The Ron Funches was very funny.
That's a funny last name.
He made Rugrats jokes, which was a fucking vibe. And even was like, my manager was like, are you really going out there making like Rugrats jokes? He's like, you don't understand my demographic. We get it. And I'm like, because it's old enough now.
Right.
Which is also a harrowing feeling.
Right.
But
I was never a Rugrats fan myself. But
no, but you could understand.
Yeah.
You could understand like the references. Like clearly Angelica like just needed a fucking hug and a little bit of attention from her mother. Like Jonathan can wait. Go hug your kid.
Donovan.
Was it?
No, it was Jonathan, but I'm saying Donovan.
B-Raj.
Yes.
That's what I call him, B-Raj.
He doesn't know it, but that's what you call him.
He doesn't know me. He won't know me. But anyway, regardless. So I was talking to my sister, and I was like, you probably have never noticed, but I do have a slight tendency to speak a bit quickly. It doesn't come up often. And I noticed it when I was out, when we went out and whatnot. And a lot of it too was that like, I was excited. It was going out and having fun and a good time. And then like, they were like getting me drunk and whatnot to like have a good time. So like, I'm just whatever. Well, her boyfriend is, he's from Colombia. And so, bilingual and whatnot. And like, I've noticed like, there's sometimes like idioms I have to explain, which just makes sense.
Yeah.
And vice versa. It's like, it's hard. You have to like think of multiple things before you get to where you can explain it. And like he's lived here for like a long time. Like it's not like the language thing. And so I was like, I realized, I feel like I talk too, like I kind of wanted to ask him, hey, am I talking too fast? Like, would it be better for me to like slow down a little bit, like consciously? But I didn't want to like ask him because I didn't want it to come off like the wrong way, like
Right.
condescendingly.
Right. Do I need to slow down for you?
Yeah, it was
Right.
it was the exact opposite. It's like, hey, like I'm kind of being a bit self-conscious, and I realized that I might be talking too fast, that like it's kind of going over his head, and he's just like, yeah, okay, like, and I don't want him to feel like that.
Yeah.
And so she lit up, which I immediately knew was a bad sign.
Right.
And like she's been wanting me to come to this realization, and she goes, you do talk pretty quickly, and you tend to not let a sentence end so that like I can go, oh, okay, you're done talking. To which my response was, what do you mean? There's a perfectly good pause. No one says anything, so I'll continue. But then like they start talking, and then it's this weird stuttering thing. And I've mentioned it before, and part of it is due to my medication, where I've come to the realization that I'll be on like 1.25 times speed is the best way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be frustrating at times because I don't realize it, especially with in a post-COVID world, like, you know, kind of more solitary and whatnot. You're just used to your own shit, kind of, that it's weird to like interact with people that aren't at the same speed or what have you. And I was like, okay, well, thank you. This is like very good. And she said, like, I purposely like letting a pause happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that felt too long. She goes, that was a good pause. And I'm like, I understand that that's the case.
Right.
But like when I try to purposefully slow down, like I am now, I do feel like my body is like vibrating, or like,
Okay.
if you've read a lot of Storm King's Thunder, or not Storm King, that's D&D. Stormlight Archive, here's a spoiler for a book, one of the books, I don't remember, but when Seth has his after image shit, it's like that. Like my body moves and then my soul catches up, almost like that split second delay.
Okay.
And it's like, but there's not. You can just breathe. And so I've kind of come to the realization, I'm like, maybe I could tone down my medication. That'd be nice, because I do feel very wound up all the time.
Yeah.
But the fear is, as I'm sure you recall, when I ran out of my meds, I'm like, I lose 2 days if I stop taking my meds.
Right.
Even if I wean myself off, like I'm so sleepy that I can't wake up.
Right.
Or like I can't do anything. So I'm a little nervous, but I'm like working on it. And because she was like supportive and good, it was very nice.
It's good.
And so like I appreciated that it wasn't like a haha thing, or like kind of like making fun of me, but like, no, hey, like actually, yeah, like almost like I'm glad that like you said something, like kind of maybe she would have wanted to, because I'm like, I don't want to necessarily like, it was not to make him feel bad at all or anything, but like, and she was like, well, with him being bilingual, there is times where like he does need an extra second to like fully register and think of what he's going to say to respond. And you'll go so fast that it's like he doesn't even get that time. So
Right.
then like
The second is
people
gone.
will check out. So I'm not going to do a good job of it, but I have been trying to, since that conversation 2 days ago, when I am conversing with other people, trying to like slow down just a little bit in what feels good. But it does feel like, or rather, I'm today in particular, I can feel it, even though I only took like my regular medication amount. And a lot of that is like taking a look at like, how much caffeine am I drinking every day?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm drinking too much. I say,
I was gonna say,
this is still less than I normally do, which is the worst part. I'm fully aware. Also, I needed to avoid a cop, so I got Starbucks, which that's a pass. You're allowed to do that. I didn't like the cop. I don't know what Glendale PD was doing. I'm like, this isn't Glendale. This is Phoenix. Get out of here. Flop.
what are you doing?
And yeah. How was your weekend?
It was good. What did I do? The days all blend together. What the fuck did I do? On Saturday, I went bowling.
That's right.
It was a lovely time.
Any turkey?
My dad did.
Really?
He got 4 in a row, and he would have got 5 in a row, but his shoe broke.
They don't want you to win?
They didn't want him to win, but he still got a 220.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm jazzed if I break 100.
Yeah. Yeah. He did really, really well. And I did, like, okay. I brought my own bowling ball, and, like, I have a couple now. I have the one that, like, I actually got, like, back either right at the end of high school or beginning of college. I can't remember. I have my own, and like that one, like, you know, actually like the guy, like they were like, you know, like got me the right weight, and these are the fingers were like the exact right size and everything. Like it was drilled out for me. The ball is great, but the problem is I got it when I was like in high school, and like
you've grown a little since then.
I've grown a little.
You've filled out.
Filled out. Yeah. My fingers are a little bit bigger than they were, and so it's almost, the weight is perfect, but the fingers are just a little bit too tight. And so sometimes when like you throw it, it kind of like sticks for just that tiny second longer, and then it pops and then hits, and so it doesn't.
You don't glide it onto the thing. You kind of like drop and roll.
Yeah. So I need to get those holes drilled out just a little tiny bit more. Because then the other ball that I have is one that I actually found at Goodwill, where the holes are perfect. The holes are the perfect size, but the problem is the ball's too heavy. So that comes with its own kind of problems. Like I get tired too easily when I'm using that one. So like, you know, like one game will be good, but then like by the second game, I'm like, ugh, like my wrist is already starting to hurt. Yeah. So it's like you need the balance, and right now I have two, and neither of them are quite right. One of them was from Goodwill, and it was $2, so it was worth it.
Can you extend? Can you make the holes bigger?
Yeah, you just have to get them drilled out.
So you just haven't done that on your high school ball?
Yeah, because you have to like go to a place that specifically can do that, and the place that like I got it from has closed a couple of years back. So I'd have to like,
you don't bowl enough to go out of your way and do it,
right? Like I would have to like look up a place. Like I knew of that place. You'd be like, oh, I could go there, but I'm like, well, that one's gone. So now I have to look up a new one, which is not hard, but you know, you just have to do it.
You know, now in your head, it's like, well, I don't know. So like, but it's okay. I don't bowl that often, so it's fine. I'll deal with it next time I bowl, and then you die.
And then, you know, it pops and it hurts.
And you go, fucking shit.
And I say, fuck.
Right in front of your mother?
Right in front of my fucking mom. I say, fuck.
To say fuck in front of your mom. I have.
I'm sure you have.
I'm pretty sure your mom has said it.
Yeah. Yeah. My mom has never been hung up about cussing. I mean, like, when I was a kid, like, she didn't want, like, me to do it. But, like, she does it, like, she cusses a lot. Like, so does my dad. I mean, my dad is something else.
Your dad is fine.
He is, you know, weaving a web of obscenities.
He just
at any time.
Your dad is such a, like, God, wanderlust describes your father, but like, but he doesn't like not to go anywhere, like, but like working on like whatever he's talking about, he is talking about like he's just like a seasoned bard, like
he's very passionate about the thing.
He knows how to wax poetic.
Yes, he does. And it's funny because like he is like in general very calm.
What are your thoughts on Cleveland? And an hour later we can
get into it after he's pulled out the books with the pictures. I love my dad very much. Yeah. But yeah, it's funny because like in general he's like a very calm, like, you know, relaxed, sedate kind of person or whatever. But like, especially if he's like doing a project, my God, he's doing is fucking like cussing up a storm, which I'm the same way. It relieves stress. It feels good. Like,
I think a lot of it is like bullshit, like religious purity culture kind of shit. Cause like my mom is very like, don't cuss. Hey, watch your mouth, you know, right? Not. And like, I don't remember like the exact time, but like started like just saying it. Like, what is she gonna do? I'm like, I'm out of the house now. So like, whatever. And I'm like, and I cuss. And what you end up, in my opinion, when you're like, you don't like no cussing ever. It's like, hey, cussing is inappropriate. Like for kids, it's like, hey, you shouldn't use like those words and whatnot. Right. Which is also kind of silly that like, but we got rules and whatnot. And it's also like, hey, like, come on.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad to like teach kids to not use them, or at least teach them not to use them flippantly. Yeah. Because the problem is like,
you can cuss at home, but like, hey, when you're out, like, don't.
It's like with any word where it's like a lot of times like kids they just don't have enough context to know like the weight behind them. Yeah. So it's like kids will say horrible things.
Go on Xbox Live.
And not know any better, or at least not know enough.
They know they're bad,
but they don't really know the impact of what they're saying.
But they realize that there's no consequences if you just say whatever you want.
Right. And so, like, you gotta, like, I don't know, you gotta be somewhere in the middle.
It's
like,
the whole thing of, like, if you choke hold it for so long, when they finally are able to, they go hard.
They're gonna, like, snap. Yeah.
Versus, like, being a bit more like, hey, there's a time and place for language. And, like, you know, even around kids in general, like, I will even myself, like, catch myself. Because I'm like, I don't know how you talk around your kids.
Right. I try not to cuss.
I'll be like, oh, fuck. I'm like,
children.
Sorry. You know, like, that kind of, like,
right.
you know, try to be a little more mindful of it.
Well, and my mom has, like, my dad will say anything. My mom has, she has certain, like, you know, curse words, phrases that, like, she does not abide by. Fuck is not one of them. She doesn't care. Really? She'll say fuck. But, like, you know, she's got her own things, and so like I try not to say those ones in front of her. Like, yeah,
C word.
Well, I don't really say that one very much ever anyway. I don't like that one.
I guess now that I'm really thinking about it, I'm like, I don't. It's not often, but it's also like when it's used, it's always in a like joking around kind of way. But even then, it's not off. I don't think I've used it even like recently.
Yeah, I don't really use that one much.
You gotta save that one. Like if you're gonna,
for me,
if you're gonna use a controversial one, it better be a good one.
The few times I use that one, it's because I am
angry.
I am beyond. Yeah, it's the fuck is not enough at this point. So
we're talking about cream pie, right?
Yeah. We're talking about the curse word calorie. Yeah. But yeah, I cuss all the time and I don't care.
Oh yeah.
But there are,
it's caveats. Mm-hmm. That's the word.
That's the curse word of the day is caveat.
Caveat. We should say hello.
Hello.
Welcome
to
Hell Yeah Podcast. Brought to you by food. You eat it.
It comes out.
Eating. Pooping.
Ice cream.
Scooping. Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm like, I'm not even fucking centered. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. Curse words are weird. Like, my mom doesn't say, well, there's words that aren't curse words that my mom does use that I'd wish she didn't. Like the R slur.
Yeah.
More recent slur, or more words that are in recent times become like slurs. I don't like that. No, I'm good. And it's always daunting or like jarring.
It's really weird when a parent says a word like that, and I'm like,
oh, and I did it. I don't like that, but also she just was so angry. My mom and I were fighting at the time, so like, which was a perfect time to go, I don't like that word. But at the same time, I don't.
Yeah.
And like, it works. That's the strategy. Your strategy works. I'm very surprised.
It's just if you don't like a word, just say, I don't like that word. Mm-hmm. And you just keep saying it.
Yeah. And then but the trick is that it's like, I don't like that word. It's like, oh, okay, sorry. It's like, okay. And you just move on. Like, that's it.
I'm not here to have a fight about it. I'm just saying, I don't like that word.
I'm letting you know. But it's like, trust me, that starts to work. That chips away. And you're like, fuck, you're right.
Yeah.
And like, we're always growing. And it's perfectly fine to like admit growth. Like,
yeah.
Whatnot.
Well, it's like, I used to say it.
Yeah.
And then I learned more context about it and was just like, I don't like that I used to say that, and I don't say that anymore.
Yeah. Like, I'm not proud that I did.
Yeah.
Like, So.
I mean, we grew up in the early 2000s. We said some horrible fucking things every day.
You start to realize.
It's about going, that was bad, and I'm not going to do that anymore.
Mm-hmm. Or it's like, yeah, you know what? Oh, it's funny because it is so bad. Like, to throw it out once in a while, it's like, no, it's past that now.
Yeah, it's not.
No.
Yeah.
We're good. Anyway. My birthday. Things about me that I like to talk about. I just wrote Ramen Kagawa Adventure.
Okay.
So, there's this ramen shop in downtown Phoenix called Ramen Kagawa.
Okay.
I've wanted to go there.
Okay.
It looks really cool. It looks tasty. And I want to go. When Sin and Evie were here, when Ori and I were in Sedona on our way home to then go to downtown Phoenix to meet them, to go to the Weathers show and Moon Tower, they went to Ramen Kagawa, and we were like, okay, we'll meet you there. We'll, try to. But we weren't going to be able to get there. Like, the timing-wise wouldn't work out. So we're like, fuck, that's fine. That was the place I really wanted to go to, but I'll go another time. Not a big deal. Because like we got back and we needed to like decompress for like an hour because it was a lot of driving, the heat and whatnot. So fast forward, my sister's like, "Hey, I found like there's this comedian I really like. He'll be doing a show tonight and Saturday. I was like, let's go tonight on Friday." Turns out also my sister had only just like she just is one of those people that like is always looking at what's going on.
Which those people are wild.
My sister does so many things.
Wild.
But and she goes, "Hey, there's this comedian I like, and I think you'll like him. You should check him out." I did. I liked him. We'll go. She had also just heard of him today and then liked his couple of things. But like you sold me like
it's wild.
I'm glad she did. It was a very fun experience. And then Stavros, I forget his full name. He's very funny, but he'll be there right around my sister's birthday. So I'm like, we should go because that'd be fun. I'm so excited. I'm like, all right, we're gonna go. We're Cecilia, Enrique, and I. We're gonna be like, okay, we're gonna go. We had to take a quick stop to pick up some things for my sister at a place for things. Okay. I don't know what all had happened, but we had to stop somewhere.
Okay.
A lot was happening at once.
Okay.
And so we continue driving, and he drives like a souped up car that's low, so like driving back on the freeway was not fun. I will be 100% honest. I'm like, I feel everything. My phone is shaking, but like it's powerful. I love that for you. And like, it's just me personally. Like I'm not like a power car guy, so it doesn't do nothing for me, but I don't disrespect the game. And,
some people like nipple play. Some people like souped up cars.
Exactly.
You don't like either one.
I think you'd find a very interesting Venn diagram.
Venn diagram of those groups.
If you like a fast car, then
you like getting your nipples tugged on.
Tell me you like getting your nipples tugged on without telling me you like your nipples getting tugged on. So like I'm like, all right, we gotta go there, and I'm like, okay, it closes at 9, so like, and the show is gonna be at 9:45. So I was like, that's perfect. We'll get there, we'll eat, and be good, and then we can hang out. It's 2-drink minimum at the place. We can't find parking, as you know. Downtown Phoenix is like,
oh Jesus Christ!
It is really weird where like there is a lot of like parking, but it's like if you don't know that you're going to be going to that specific one and go there directly, you have to, and like you're just like going to figure it out. It's very convoluted how you have to get there.
There's a lot of like in Arizona in general, there aren't like one-way streets except in downtown Phoenix. There's loads of one-way streets. There's the light rail. Yeah. Like just trying to like figure out how to get around is a pain in the ass
if you're not in it regularly.
And then meanwhile, to be dealing with all of that and trying to find a place to park.
Oh yeah.
It's a fucking nightmare.
It was insane. On a side note, I did see like this couple like walking their dog, and I was like, oh yeah, people live in down Phoenix, which like, like I've been to Chicago quite a few times in the last few years, and I'm like, yeah, like living in the city, that's cool. And I'm like, why would you live in downtown Phoenix? It's not the same.
Yeah,
but
I wouldn't want to.
I don't know. It's interesting.
It's different. It's just not for me.
But so we finally get to park, and we're like going, and we get to Ramen Kagawa, and I'm like, perfect. We had to park a bit further away. We show up, and I open the door. And a guy comes up to the door and he goes, "I'm sorry, we've already done last call. We did last call at 8:40. I go, it's 8:40. And he goes, "You'll have to come back again another time," and shut the door. Damn. Which I was like, one, that was bold. Two, I would be a very quick order.
Right. But he doesn't know that.
He doesn't know that. I'm like, I still have, you're telling me this, and you're cutting into my 30 seconds that I have to order. Yeah. But whatever. And I'm like, so again, this place is not for me. I'm not allowed to have it. And Cecilia was like, hey, like, her like, Veggie Tales inspired chakra of like, maybe the universe has a better place in mind for you. And I went, shut up. I don't want to hear that. I'm like, we just didn't get there in time. It's fine. Right. And so we're like, well, we can go find a different sushi place. And then it was a whole conversation about sushi, sashimi, blah, 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 blah. We go to Cornish Pasty Co., and it was good because it was on the way to the sushi place. And I went, I want to go here. And they said, okay. And it was great. Although me trying to explain to Enrique what a Cornish pasty is, let alone my sister explain what a Cornish pasty is, because no one gets it.
Right.
Do you know what it is?
No.
Okay, so it is like a Hot Pocket.
Okay.
Yeah, like a turnover, like a bread base, but like stuffed with meats, cheeses, sauces, and stuff. So like they have a lot of different ones. I got the Cajun chicken one. It was very, very good. I really like it. I think it's very well done. It's like a gourmet Hot Pocket, more or less, like a turnover.
A ravioli.
Kinda, yeah.
A pastry ravioli.
Yeah, but it's so hard to explain, and like I was doing my fucking best, and I'm like,
it's a savory Pop-Tart.
Here's the thing. Yeah, that's exactly it. The thing that got me though is like I sat down and I'm like, okay, they're just sitting on their phones because I had to pee, and I'm like,
right.
Okay, I'm like, where's the menus? And then I see the sticker on the wall to scan the QR code.
Don't get Taylor started on that.
Now,
don't get her started on that.
I don't think that it's necessarily the worst thing, and I completely understand like during COVID and whatnot. Or well, I guess we still have COVID, so like it's a thing.
It's not the same though, and we can say that.
Yeah, it's different, but like I'm like, oh, that's cool and all, but like I'm not used to that, and it's like, well, what if I didn't have a phone?
Right.
Do they have anything, or like I
hope you have a friend.
There's a part of me that's like, do you guys have a burner, like something that I could use to get the menu? And they go, we don't have any paper menus. There's no way. They have to have some old paper menus or something.
They come out to you and they just describe the menu,
one line at a time, and you need to hear it all before. Like, good luck. They go, well, what do you like? Could you imagine? If like you go to a restaurant and they're like, hey, yeah, sorry, but like our QR code's broken and we don't have any printed menus. So like I have the menu like cached on my phone. I can't let you see it. So like, What are you in the mood for? Have you ever been here?
And I'll pick something for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I'll just whatever like aligns the closest.
Right.
It's ridiculous. But it was fun overall. It was a good time. The comedy show?
Uh-huh.
Was very fun, except for the woman that sat next to me.
Okay.
So have you ever been to Stand Up Live? It's by Copper Blues.
No.
It's like you go into the big room and it's like first come, first serve table. So like when you come in, they seat you and it like progressively fills out towards the back of the room. And like, so it's like tight tables. So since there's three of us, we had 2 tables. And so I made sure that there was a chair gap between me and the next, like the person that got there before me. Mm-hmm. And this woman, you ever just want to know about people? But like you don't. I have no interest. But also, what brought you here?
Right.
So they said, there's a big thing, no phones, no cameras.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Perfectly fine. And like, I understand you get like you got to check something, but you do it kind of quickly.
Right. Discreet and calm.
Apparently, my sister said that like they kept ordering drinks, her and her husband, and then I believe their friends were at the table, like were right next to them too. Mm-hmm. So like all in a line. And I'm like, okay, cool, no worries. She was very chatty, and like she made a point to talk to my sister beforehand, like before like the like lights turned down and everything, and the opener started. Uh-huh. And she's like, oh yeah, like, oh, I love comedy shows. Like I'm a big comedy show person. Like I'm always coming here. It's worth filling out the form, like to sign up for like updates because like I come here all the time. And I'm like, okay. Cool. Like, why are you talking to me? Like we were talking and it was like, I completely understand, making a comment, mm-hmm. Because people are next to you and they're kind of out loud discussing. And it's like, okay, yeah. But then like, I'd go back and do my own thing. Like, oh, it actually is pretty worth it for what it's worth. You get free tickets like once a month, but mm-hmm. And then whatever. You chimed in. It was a little much, but you know what? No one's going to blame you for it.
I might. Maybe just don't talk to people.
We start the show. Aside from the fact that like the first guy was all right, he was the opener. It took us a while to get warmed up. The second guy, like, I'm very picky when it comes to comedy, or rather, I just have standards.
Amy Schumer or nothing.
No, but like, it's like if, like the second guy was just like he was like a big gay Latino dude, and all of his jokes are about him being big gay or Latino, mm-hmm. and like he was on TV and stuff. And I'm like, that's cool, but like it just was like. Okay, like I've heard these jokes before, kind of, which is a little frustrating. I'm like, I feel like you are funny, and he seemed really nervous, and I'm like, I wonder if this was like, but he was on TV. I was so confused. But I was like, I need more. I was just as critical of the first guy. His jokes were all about like drugs and like that's it.
Yeah.
Which, you know, my sister and Enrique losing their shit over. And I'm like, I don't get it. Third person, she was very funny.
Mm-hmm. How many people were they? I thought this was a guy.
There was a guy. There was like the one opener. There was a girl act, and then the main dude. I didn't know any of this going in. This is all going on in my head.
Uh-huh.
Well, aside from the fact that as the lights go down during the first guy's show, like apparently a thing is happening of an emergency that the woman in front of me with her giant ass phone, her brightness on maximum, is looking at hotel rooms and going, okay, honey, yeah, so like, would this be good? Like, what do you think? And he's like, hey, like, it's okay. And she goes, no, like, well, here, we'll just take care of it right now. And I'm like, he's talking. Can you shut up for fucking 2 goddamn minutes? And like, I'm never going to say anything.
Right.
But it's like, you know, and I think that especially during a show like that, it is completely fine to just be like, oh yeah, you know, that's you, you know, like,
right.
You chit chat with your partner and that's fine. And it's like, but you try to keep your voice down. You try not to be too loud, and you get back to the show like you're watching, and it's because it's like you're enjoying it with your partner. That's totally fine. She's a whooper, and she's like, oh yeah, that's him. The girl went on. I forget her name, which is going to be very ironic, and for a reason you'll understand in just a few moments. She does her whole set. She was very, very funny. Mm-hmm. I really liked her, and so she was like, yeah, you guys go like follow me on like my socials and stuff. It'll be, you know, after the show, it'll be out there like selling the t-shirts and stuff. And like, she's like, so like, you know, I'm, you know, very excited to like, you know, for this next, you know, for the headliner tonight, like he's very funny, whatever. And she goes, what's your name? And she goes, what? And she's like, what's your name? We want to follow, and holds up her phone. She's like, we want to follow you.
Not this.
And I am sitting 2 seats behind with this, which I'm like, thank God I did.
Yeah.
Thank the fucking Lord that I did. I was not a pious man before this. And so she went, do you really have to do this right now while I'm in the middle of like doing this? She goes, because I understand, like I'm appreciative, but like I'm trying to like get everyone, like we're all hyped and doing it. And now I got to like stop kind of the momentum and like address this. And we got to go back and forth. And like, you know, like it's not, like, you could just wait. It's okay. Like, I'm appreciative, but, like, also, like, you know, we're all here, you know, to see Ron, and, like, it's going to be a really good time. And, like, you know, now I got to, like, when I'm done with this finally, like, go and, like, start it all over again. And I'm just like, oh, that's funny. Oh, this is way more funny. But then also terribly cringy. And, like, there was this human part of me that had the small amount of soul that I do have.
Right.
That did feel bad because I'm like, God, you must feel so fucking embarrassed.
Right.
But then I'm like, part of me wanted to go, it's okay, like no one's gonna remember this. And I'm like, no, I'm telling this on my podcast in 3 days, but I'm not gonna tell her that.
No one will know her, but people will remember this.
Oh yeah. Like it was just so like over the top. And apparently Cecilia said like, yeah, they were getting like tons of drinks and stuff, getting drunk. The guy,
well, then maybe she won't remember it.
Maybe. It just was like, I'm like, can you, why do you gotta like, and there was also another guy who was like, not heckling, but like, oh yeah, like this, like Scottsdale. And I'm like,
I hate people.
Can I watch comedy, but I don't want anyone else there?
That's why the comedy specials.
Exactly. But
they like, cut out all that shit.
Ron himself was very, very funny, very relatable, adorable. It was very funny. I noticed that he was like typically always looking up towards like the ceiling, kind of like that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's a really good strategy. I'm like, no one cares if you look at them directly or not. Mm-hmm. Like, you're still doing your thing.
She might.
And there was tons of things that she was like whooping about, like, oh yeah, It's like, that's great. And although a lot of the jokes were that like we weren't as loud or like laughing so quickly because like, oh, like, yeah, you all must be high now that they legalized it. And I'm like, ha ha ha, that's very funny. This is the 19th time I've heard it, but also you guys just aren't that funny. Which is like a conversation that they weren't ready to have.
Let's have that conversation.
And like the second guy, the one that I made a point to mention that I was critical of, is like, I'm like the first guy I'm not that critical of, only because it sounded like he's on the tour circuit. He's figuring his craft and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And like, you know, God forbid you know too many people like Brandon Schaub, where you get specials and they're just dog shit and you're the worst. Fuck Brandon Schaub, and I'm not afraid to say that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You don't need to.
Okay.
Those who know.
Okay.
And like, it takes time. You got to figure your stuff out, and like to have enough material for a full hour, like that's hard to do.
Yeah.
It's much more than you think it would be. Like to have jokes or have like stories, whatever you're gonna talk about, and like that's why I can't do it. You know, I'd have to freeform it. I couldn't do it planned. Mm-hmm. But even then, it's like, how do we do the podcast every week? But like they hyped this guy up, like, hey, we have a special. Like he happens to be here today. And like you've seen him on like, you know, named a couple of stations or channels, and it's like, here we go. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is someone who's like getting some work, or rather, they hyped him up,
right? And
then it was just like, okay, like he seemed very nervous, which like a nervous
because they were hyping him up.
And that could be it too. Is like a little bit of like, because I saw him after the show, and I said, hey, like good set, and he's like, thank you, and I was like, cool. I mean, I lied, but you know, it's important to like support, because I'm like, just because it wasn't funny to me doesn't mean that like other people didn't find it funny. Mm-hmm. But I'm just like, you can do more. And I'm not going to tell him that, because who am I?
Right.
But like at the same time, like don't be so one note.
Right.
And that's all I have to say about that. And that was all of my trip, and I'm done talking. So what's new with you? Please talk.
So do we want to just talk about Civ?
Oh,
do we want to crack open this can of worms?
Oh, absolutely. I didn't know if there was enough I didn't know if that was something you'd be wanting to talk about.
So, well, I don't have anything else to talk about, so we're gonna talk about
Good.
it.
I mean, there's a lot we can unpack. Not as much. We're hyping it up.
Okay.
We're gonna be one note.
Yeah, this is. We'll need some constructive criticism, but please don't give it to us. Instead, just tell us it was a good set and then close the video.
And then keep walking down the stairs.
Okay, so a little bit of background on the Civ situation. So
Civilization 5,
Civilization 5
Sid
by
Meier's,
Sid Meier's,
which is why I couldn't find it when I'm like, why is it not in my Steam library? I'm like, who are you?
So it is sometimes a fun game. It's a game that I can get very invested in very easily.
It is the game of two more turns. Oh shit! It's 5 a.m.
Yep. So for the little bit of background, there is a story that has been told to me.
Passed down by generations.
Passed down generation to generation. When we were when we were all in college, that was when, well, actually, like right at the beginning of college, Taylor and I first found Civilization 5. It's a very weird day. It was, you ever just hang out with someone with no plans, no nothing? It's just like, do you want to hang out today? Yeah, sure. And you just then you just hang out all day and you don't know what to do and you figure it out as you go along.
Not anymore, but
Not
yeah.
anymore.
Like, because now it's like we all got shit we want to do.
Right. We're not going to hang out all day. Like, we got lives.
I do hang out with people, like, on the phone.
Right.
Yeah, that's a better way to describe it.
Yeah.
With no pressure to talk.
Yeah, it's just different. It's just it's an artifice of high school, college, that kind of time, like before you have like
you're too established somewhere.
Yeah, with like jobs and all kinds of shit. I mean, we had jobs, but different.
Career.
Yeah. So anyway, one day Taylor and I were hanging out just like all day, and so at one point we were like, let's just fucking go to Walmart and find a game to play, which was already a very weird occurrence. We were like, let's just go to Walmart and just find a game. So we go to Walmart, and we were at Taylor's place, and so the only thing they had was like a Wii or something. So it was like, okay, so we're not gonna do a video game. I was like, let's do a PC game. We both had our laptops with us. I think we had technically like done some kind of like schoolwork, and then we were like, let's fuck off the rest of the day. It's like we had our laptops and stuff, so we're like, okay, we're gonna do this. Also, neither of our laptops had external disk drives, had internal disk drives. Sorry.
Yeah.
So we were like, let's go to Walmart. Let's find a PC game. Let's buy an external disk drive, and let's just like play a game. It was weird. So we go there. We find this game called Civilization 5. And it's like, a strategy game. We were like, oh, this could be fun. It was the Gods and Kings edition. It was before Brave New World. Ta-da.
Nova.
It was before that.
That's Civ 4.
So it was just Gods and Kings. So we go
No,
there,
man.
we get like a Red Baron pizza, Civ 5, external disk drive, and we fuck off back to Taylor's parents.
2
house.
cigarettes. The car started. Let's go.
Let's fucking go. So we
send it.
so we boot up this game. I'd never played a turn-based strategy game. I'd only ever played like Age of Empires, Halo Wars, like like real time.
You guys have been playing AoE lately, though.
Yes.
I noticed.
Yes. I'd only played real time ones before. I'd never played turn based. So we like boot it up and I'm like, this is turn based. I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, I hate this. And Taylor went into fix it mode. She's like, no, it's going to be good. We're going to like this game.
I mean, yeah, it works because I'm like, I like it.
It worked. And credit to her. I just needed to sit through it long enough to be like, it's just a different kind of game. And I like it.
You got to push past the first hour, which is all very hard sell.
Very hard sell. But we did because she was like, we're going to fix it. So we did. Enjoyed it. Liked the game. Was like, okay, cool.
Fuck, now I want to play. God damn it.
So it established that like Taylor and I liked Civ 5. Later, come to find out, we had other friends who also liked Civ 5. Brandon ended up liking it. You ended up liking it. Civ 5 became a thing.
Oh, yeah. I bought it for $3 on G2A. I'm
Hell
pretty
yeah.
sure it was stolen.
It was stolen. Never really played it together, though.
Yeah.
Until in college, there was a time. There's a story spoken from the mountaintops, a hollowed, tale of yore that has been passed down to me, that there was a day when a group of my friends, including all of my friends except me, got to play Civ 5. They played it in teams, and apparently it was a raucous good time.
We did it local, so like local networks.
Right.
So like the whole thing was that everyone
One
was
room
there.
on laptops.
That classic picture of the like everyone doing a LAN party, and there's the one kid taped to the
Yes.
ceiling.
Yes, it was. This was how it was said to me.
Which-
Actually, it wasn't even said to me quite like this. This is what my brain turned it into.
It was very much just like Eric can't make it. It's like, okay, like we're gonna play
I was
Civ
at
5.
work.
Like we were just gonna play Civ 5 today. It's like, okay, cool. Like, hey, I think we can all play together. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And we weren't on teams.
I thought you were.
No, we were all individual, and we did it so that it was not simultaneous turns.
Right, I know that part.
We
yeah.
we made so many mistakes.
So, anyway, so this story became
Legend.
monolithic in my head of the time when I did not get to play Civ 5 and all of my friends played Civ 5 without me.
I think we do that though. I think that like
You
as
can't help
people,
it.
like if you're the one that didn't get to go, you're gonna blow up that this thing was like the
Right.
end all be all shit your pants good
Right.
raucous time. Yeah.
And it never happened again afterward. And so a little bit ago, I was, I was bitching to Brandon and Taylor about somehow it came up. And I was like, do y'all remember the time when I was excluded from the best game that ever existed in the world? And so
As you should have been.
And so Brandon called me out on it, and he didn't call me out on it. He called my bluff, and he was like, "Well, then let's fucking do it."
Yeah, there's literally nothing stopping us.
He's
from
like, "Let's
doing
fucking play Civ 5."
Nothing.
I was like, "Okay, bet." So he was like, "All right." So then he texted the crew and was like, "We're gonna do that this weekend." We're gonna play Civ
I
5."
realized how serious it was when I was getting like multiple texts, and like he was very agitated that I didn't know what time if I could do it, and then I realized this is a real serious thing. I gotta just cancel on my D&D group. Like I can't. Like I've already canceled not necessarily canceled, but just I didn't go to things because it just didn't time wise, or I'm not feeling well. But I'm like I can't miss this.
So it was like, we're gonna fucking do it. We're gonna get the crew, and we're gonna fucking play this game. So I was pumped. The day of the Civ, like the night before, went over there. We were figuring out I had to bring like an extra laptop because like for one of our friends, like we're trying to figure it all out. We get it all figured out. We got it set up. Everything's working. It's like, okay, great. It's gonna be amazing. The next morning,
You're gonna love my nuts.
I'm gonna fucking love my nuts. The next morning, I wake up and I was like, okay, I haven't played Civ 5 in like a year or two. I was like, I want to do a quick like refresher game just to remember like what's the start? Like how do you like start?
I wish I would have done that because that's the problem I ran into. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Good. But if it's that where it was like once I'm in it enough, I know what to do. I'm like, but the start is really important.
The team, like us being a team, like fucked me up because I'm like, shit, like
Right.
I would just focus, like, I always am very, like, I don't win often, but I just care about
What
me.
do I do for me?
Yeah, which sounds cool.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm going to play a quick game to, like, remember how this starts. I start playing the game. I play for 2 hours. And at the end of those 2 hours, I was not particularly far into the game because it's a slow, long game. And I realized, I was like, this may not...
We're not finishing this game today.
This may not work out the way I hope it would. This... Uh-oh. This might not be good.
Uh-oh, stinky.
Uh-oh. Get over to Brandon and Taylor's. We're all playing Fall Guys. It's a lovely time.
Up in the lounge.
Up in the lounge. In the Gold Team lounge.
Oh, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but there is also a class disparity of sorts, which I did personally profit from and did not realize the plight of the lower classes. And I don't mean socioeconomic lower.
Physically.
I mean physically lower.
So
and I do mean repurchase.
So we're all just like fucking around. We're not started yet. We're playing Fall Guys. It's a great time. We get pizza and wings. We have all that. It's great. Now it's time.
We're ready.
Now it's time to start. We have to decide teams.
Well, Brandon, first of all, decided that he was going to be gold team and went out of his way to go print out a bunch of stupid, like, clip art pictures and shit,
Yes,
and, like,
I love
taped
it.
them upstairs.
Word art that says the Gold Team Lounge.
And, like, in their loft, at the like on the upstairs, like, it was very well lit.
Yep.
Which I didn't realize would be something I needed to bring up. But when we went downstairs after the game was over, I realized how dark it was downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, you know, we're at this fun table, kind of like this. We have all us,
Circular.
you know, you would have your laptops, and I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry.
You're good. Yeah. So
They
we
don't know the teams yet
So we end up picking teams.
through dice rolls.
We roll dice rolls to pick team leaders, and then the team leaders pick the teams.
There was a fatal flaw that I think everybody saw coming, and Brandon somehow didn't.
That I was like, as it was happening, I was like, this is about to make a situation that I was already like, this might not be as fun as we thought. I was like, when that happened, I was like, this is about to become very not fun for some people.
Like, it almost kind of felt like Brandon was like, hey, come over and play, but I don't want to hang out with you.
Which was not the intention.
No. And I don't think they took it that way, but you got to break them up.
It's what ended up happening. Basically, the teams ended up splitting into me, Brandon, and Steve.
I was overjoyed that I was picked because I was like...
I was the first person picked, which was shocking.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yeah, well, Brandon was like, I don't want to play with Taylor.
Right?
Which is fine. Like, that's not like a bad thing between them. Like, they're just competitive, and like it would mean more to him if he won against her than like with her.
Well, also, at least in the beginning, it seemed like he was thinking like in terms of like, so there are a few of us who have played the game more than others.
We have some friends that are there because we asked them to be.
Yeah. Brandon, Taylor in particular. Taylor has played a lot of Civ, and she's very good at Civ.
She's the warmongerer.
Yes. I have played a decent amount of Civ, and I'm pretty good at it. I'd say Brandon's on a similar level, and then you're around there too. You just haven't played it in as long as it's been longer since you played it.
Yeah,
since
like I played a lot.
Yeah,
like I went into like playing as Flavortown.
Yeah,
shit. Like I fuck around with mods. I don't go on too hard a difficulty, but
right
because you get lost in that game. Yeah, it is dangerous.
So the teams end up getting picked. Brandon picks me, and then and then Jordan picks Taylor. And then Brandon picked you, and so then Jason was also on Jordan's team.
And it's not fair. It's important to point out Jordan and Jason are twins. Well, them being twins doesn't matter, but they're brothers.
Yes, they are brothers.
And they also had to drive from where they live to there.
Yes,
which sounds like a big deal, but
they have by far played less of Civ. They are less interested in Civ.
It's more of like, we're going to hang out and have fun.
Yes. So already when the teams were decided, it was like, uh-oh, this is an uh-oh. Because in theory, you would think we should probably have put the two least experienced, least interested people, one on each team. Mm-hmm. That is not what happened.
I also did not realize that, like, by doing teams and like, no, we're going to be in different locations.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm like, well, what's the big deal if we're all at the same table? Like, I could look over and see what you're doing, but that doesn't really help me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, it does if I know that you're building an army, but like, other than that,
right.
Like, it's almost like, because that's how we did it the first time. Is like we were all just at the table, and it's like, just don't look. Like, you know,
right.
A little bit of sportsmanship, and also like, I'll look, and I won't know what the fuck you're like. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Right. Well, this one, like, we went into it initially like very serious, like lots of plans about like what are we gonna do as a team, how are we gonna do this, and everything.
The team picking.
And so we had our teams. We split up. I was up there with Brandon and Steve in the Gold Team Lounge.
Where we had Fall Guys.
Where we also had Fall Guys to entertain us between the turns. Taylor, Jordan, and Jason were downstairs with no Fall Guys. And two of those players are less interested in Civ and less experienced. And have perhaps been a bit misled as to what was going to happen when everyone got to the house. So pretty quickly, it started to get not great.
Like, to be clear, like, there is a little bit of, like, we're breaking it down a lot because, like, it is funny when we start to. Like, it wasn't as bad, but it was overall, like, in hindsight, if we do it again, we got to do it a different way. And
it's more fun for everybody.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, the thing is, it just ended up not being very fun. We had a decent time.
Oh, I was going to say, I had a blast.
We were upstairs, like, fucking around, like,
I'm half-assed. I'm, like, playing
Guys.
3 games, and I'm, like, trying to get a crown.
Yeah. That is not the case for the downstairs crew, and that's unfortunate, and that sucked. So then, like, the game ended up, like, having issues, and so, like, we didn't end up, well, of course we didn't finish it. That would have taken literally all day.
Well, there was no intention of finishing, I don't think. It was more of just, like, we'll get to a point.
Yeah, and we reached that point, and because the game was also having, like, technical problems. But yeah.
We couldn't get everyone to stay in the game.
Yeah.
Like, it's just an older game. And I, like, part of me was wondering, I'm like, I wonder if that's too much, like, on the network, which sounds silly, but, like.
I don't think so. I mean, they have a really, like, good internet.
I don't know. It was just really weird. But, like, there was issues when we tried to play it the first time. It took us forever to get it stable enough.
Yeah. Well, it's also, we have a wide array of laptops connecting, all of them at various ages, levels of updates, like all kinds of things. There's many factors. Anyway, it ended up not being a very good time. And I then also felt really bad because not only did I inadvertently instigate all of this, then I felt bad because, like, it wasn't a very good time. And I felt bad for Brandon because Brandon kind of organized the whole thing for me, more or less. And then it kind of ended up looking like, you know, he was the one that organized this not particularly fun time. And
yeah, like it's on him when it's not.
Right, it's not. It was my fault.
Well, in my opinion, there's no one at fault. It was just like, fuck, we should have, like.
It just ended up not being.
We all kind of knew that we should have done this a little differently, and we were just like, you know, no, it'll be fine. It'll be good.
We needed to read the room a little earlier.
We were drunk on power in the Gold Lounge. Like, we were enticed. We were enticed, and we didn't think to even wonder how the proletariat were doing below.
I knew things might not be going great downstairs. I didn't realize they were, you know, I didn't think about the fact that I'm like, oh, they have nothing. Like, they don't have Fall Guys. They have nothing else to, like, keep their attention.
And, like, where that table is, like, they can't even see the TV.
They can't even see a TV. They're just sitting there. So, like, yeah, there were a lot of factors.
And, like, what are they all going to talk about? Like, because Taylor, like, I love Taylor. But Taylor's a very competitive person, and it's like, she's like, okay, you need to hurry up your turn. Let's go.
Well, and we went into it with, like, you know, there was sort of a competitive mindset set up. Like, you know, like, she also doesn't, like, always have to be competitive. But Brandon kind of, like, framed it as that when he kept going down and being like, what characters are you playing as and stuff.
When we decided that we weren't doing random for everybody, it then became like, okay.
A little strategic.
Let's roll. Whoever wins gets to choose who they want. Right. Babylon or Korea.
So it was sold with a certain level of strategy. That So it ended up just it was just one of those times where, like, you know, when you just hang out and sometimes it's like the plan just doesn't work.
Yeah.
It just turns.
It's just this ain't it, sis.
Which was a shame. But yeah, so, like, Civ 5's great. Also, it sucks.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah.
But it was a fun time.
It was fun.
It was fun enough for me to be like, ooh, I'm going to play this again. Actually, I am happy about it because it's on my laptop. I can I'm tired of being in my office all the time. It's same the forever problem that we all run into if you work from home of and do things. It's
like I'm living in this one
room and it's like you have to find a way to get yourself out of it. Yeah. And it's like, okay, I'm like, well, I had to play Civ 5 on my computer, on my desktop, because then I can using another monitor, watch Netflix or whatever. I'm like, or I could play it on my laptop and TV. Be in my living room and I could sit not that my chair isn't comfy, my chair is very comfortable, but it's like, no, I want to lounge.
In the gold lounge.
And there's a vibe in the gold lounge. It's a vibe, really.
So yeah. So it was very good intentions and I'm very grateful to Brandon for setting it up, but it just didn't work and then I felt bad.
Yeah.
And it just sucked because I'm like, I wanna do more of that where we all get together and hang out, but I want it to be fun for everybody. And it was a shame that one wasn't.
I think something that we need to address and understand is that we need to stop trying to recapture old memories and just do something that seems fun.
Yeah.
I think we put too many expectations on it.
And this one in particular was very much that thing where because I wasn't there, I was able to turn it into something in my head that it never was. I'm not sure that anyone else who was actually there would be like, that was a great time. It just, there were stories out of it.
It was just cool. It was cool that we all played together, but that was it. But we also all played at the time a shit ton of Civ. Right. That was the game we were all playing.
Yeah. So it was just, there was certain expectations that I set in my own head that were not. But great.
Overall, I did like hanging out with everybody.
It was good hanging out with everybody. Playing Fall Guys was great. When we were all just shooting shit, eating pizza and everything. That was great.
That's probably what it should have just been.
Yeah. And then segue into I don't know, something easy and very communal like Cards Against Humanity or Mario Party or something.
Part of that, to be blunt, I understand that we had our team thing, but it's we should have all been in the same location.
Right. But with us being teams, it was and the other thing is if we're going to be in teams, those two don't know as much, then it turns into explaining to them what to do. And if you're explaining what to do and you're on teams and you're in the same space.
Yeah.
So
it was a call that we all kind of knew we should have made and we didn't, and we'll not make that mistake again. And it's nothing against them. And I hope that they weren't upset.
Yeah.
Or anything.
I just felt bad.
That was
I wanted everybody to have fun.
But then we played Bonanza.
We did play Bonanza, and that was a good time.
It always is. It's so always bullshit.
A good time because it's so stupid. That game is so stupid.
My favorite thing about Bonanza is that it's, to me, there's this sick little part of me that's how quickly can I make Brandon mad? How quickly can I just break him to where he's no longer a threat in the game? Because you do trades, but it's
the stupidest, most complicated.
Rob Peter to pay Paul, I'm going to trade this, but before that's finalized, you two are going to trade, and then you two are going to trade, and then we're going to trade. And it's going to end up where everybody, there was that one trade where, everybody got something they wanted except Brandon. And, he did, and it ended up, hurting him when he had to harvest shit he didn't want to. And he's like, I did that whole trade, and I'm hurt. And I'm like, mm-hmm. That's beans, baby.
That game is a mess. It's fun though.
A very simple game. The hardest part is that first couple round runes.
Rounds. The first couple of rounds.
Yeah. So.
But
yeah, exciting. We do have one package, and then I don't know. We could go look through to see if there's any questions, and then do the Jeopardy thing. Mm-hmm. I think that could be good.
Yes.
Because I don't remember, and I'm gonna let you do the Jeopardy thing because I don't remember.
As bold of you assume that I remember, but I will. Well, yep.
They gave us answers.
And we have to read the answer and then come up with the question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to which that is the answer.
Perfect.
In Jeopardy form. What is
this? Ooh, then maybe we do a trade-off. Or no, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We'll read them to each other, perhaps.
Okay.
So we'll both have it up, and we'll kind of go through them. So that way it'll be
we can see that.
Hydroponic farming.
What is?
Yeah.
This is hard.
It's hard. I don't know why I came up with this idea. It's bad. It's improv. I don't like improv.
This place is a weird shop that is interesting and looks like it's stuff for hamsters, but it's not. What is hydroponic farming? Because that's, as a kid, that's what I thought that shop was. I thought it was so cool. It's got like all the bubbles and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. Package?
Yeah. Package time
with the boys. Ow!
Thank you. Package time is brought to you in front of a live studio audience.
Come on down.
We have a package, just one today, from Kale.
It's a laptop.
Oh my god. There's one for Eric, and there's one for Ode.
Grazie.
Thank you, Kale. You did not have to.
Thank you, Kale.
But I am appreciative that you did.
Oh, good heavens.
A Hallmark.
Oh.
I'm going to cry. Thank you. You got to show the whole card.
Card reveal. Don't show the words, just show the pictures.
Please don't read out loud.
Please don't read out loud. Work.
Cool.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I'm going to read it.
Read it out loud.
Can't stop me. And this won't be edited.
I don't care.
You get to like the little fingers.
I have blue. Becky, do you like blue?
Do you? I have pink.
Becky, let me smash, please. Oh, hell yeah. That's sick.
All right, we could do a reveal.
Yes.
Boom. Hot,
Hot
boy,
boy
summer.
summer.
Mine is me and my hot bitch.
Meowdy.
Meowdy. Yeah, Odiepus Rex. Jinx. Jinx, you want me to kiss on the lips? Yo, let me get a suck on that tongue. Oh, hell yeah. My favorite buds are my taste buds. This is really well done. Oh my god.
Hell
And
yeah.
it's based off of the logo that Orgy made. That's so fucking cool. I love it. Thank you.
Kale.
That's so sweet. Ooh, yeah, thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, that's package time.
I dropped something.
Oh.
It's fine.
Alrighty, so I guess we're gonna bust this bitch open.
What? We gotta find the Quimchins and then we gotta do Jeopardy. Jeopardy.
I always go, Mike, look for Held for review. Oh, Atlas posted timestamps. I'll approve. I always like forget to check now because normally it's like I don't ever check unless someone yells at me or it's the next week. Because I stopped like we have phones, we have YouTube Studio app, we can just scroll. It's okay.
Right. I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Oh,
So
okay,
look for Quimchins and Vamp.
okay. That's fine. Enjoy.
I'll try.
How's everybody doing today? Is everybody good? Okay, I think I'm all caught up. There we go. Okay, I'm caught up. Hello, welcome. It's Wednesday. It's Tuesday. At this point, by the time you guys see it, I'm pretty excited. I'll be waking up super fucking early in the morning because I kind of want to try doing a live reaction to the new Pokemon news. So hopefully that's good for Scarlet and Violet. Trying to think, like, announcement stuff, if there's anything cool. It's August. It's hot. It's been wet here in Phoenix. If you haven't checked out my stream, this week is a good week to do so. We'll be starting the Uncharted series on Wednesday, today. Here, I'll be live at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, sometimes 5 p.m. or Pacific Standard Time at the moment. And then I'll be playing Stray on Friday. And then basically whatever that day slot is, that's every, next Wednesday it'll be the same thing. Yada, yada, yada. And it's a fun time. So you should come by if you want. And if you don't want to, that's okay. Just don't tell me that you don't want to, because that will hurt my feelings. Yeah. What if that was it? People just comment, I don't want to go to your stream.
I don't want to see your stream.
And I'm like, thanks. It means a lot. Thanks, Kings.
Do we got any gamers in the chat?
Yeah. Do we got any gamers?
We got any fellow power pissers out there?
A power piss.
Yeah. I'm a gamer, so I power piss.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta get it out.
I did a little bit of like daddy ASMR, like making my voice gravelly and getting close to on my stream last night. And I'm like, you daddy's little shit hog. Or shit bitch was the word I used at first.
Oh.
Well, I was told that like if I said good girl, it was like, hey, like, can you do something more gender neutral? And I'm like,
right.
Okay.
Good bitch.
Shit bitch.
Okay.
I figured, and then turned into shit hog.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you rolling around in mud.
Nasty little pig person.
Squeal for me.
Nasty little pig, they, them.
Yeah. Them, they. I'm an artist, a thembian. Which is an acting.
I love that prescription drug.
Non-binary.
Thembian PM. Puts me the fuck to sleep.
I'm only non-binary between working hours because that's when my meds are effective. Oh my God. Sorry. I don't think. No.
What?
That was a bad joke.
Okay.
Yeah. I just meant more in line with that.
Do we have a Quincy?
Do we have a Quinchin? I don't know. I'm still looking.
For quick wit, if y'all could lactate one flavor of milk, what flavor would you choose? And then they followed it with, and that was from Macron.
Oh, thanks, Macron.
I don't like nipple. No, I don't want to lactate.
Mm-hmm.
And it says if we could, not if we have to.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess if I had to, can it be unsweetened vanilla almond milk?
That'd be useful.
Supping from the tit of life.
Yeah, it's because you use it.
I use it. That seems perverse.
I don't
To
think.
drink your own milk.
I mean, the taste isn't that bad. I don't know what the big fuss is.
Depends on what you've eaten.
Look, you can't expect somebody else to enjoy your taste if
Listen,
you haven't.
sometimes you gotta do you.
You gotta sample the supply if you're gonna be providing it.
Check the original recipe before you put it for sale.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
You mean you haven't had a taste of the Fountain of Youth?
I'm not talking about this.
Tell me if you eat your cum, Eric.
I'll talk about nipple play all day. I'll call you a dirty little pig bitch, but I don't want to talk about my cum. And that's my choice.
My cum is mine.
My cum is mine.
Get back in there.
Just plug it. Shoot it right back in. I'm not losing that testosterone.
Could you imagine? What if you could just like, there's like a little like switch, and it goes from push out to pull in. So you're like, oh, I didn't mean to bust, and you just vacuum it out. You would just hoover up your own cum.
Suck it back in.
Anyway, this is the end of question time because I don't see any other questions. I think it's just Jeopardy. I think people were pretty cool that like,
Yeah.
they just knew what the fuck was going on.
What the fuck is up, Kyle?
I don't know.
Okay. Oh, 2 random food-related questions. Would you
Okay.
like the question for you? This is from Holly B.
I feel like you didn't scroll that far down, and I know which one it is. Does it involve ketchup?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, go.
Odie, since you don't like ketchup and you
We
like
should
your...
just start at the top. I don't know why I'm going to the bottom. Anyway, continue.
Since you don't like ketchup and you like your hamburgers to be meat, cheese, and bun only, what condiments do you like? What do you dip your fries in?
I don't really dip my fries too often. I'll a lot of times do like a small side of ranch if I'm at a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be nice.
Yeah.
I don't mind barbecue sauce on a burger, but it depends on the place. Some places barbecue sauce on the burger ain't it, chief.
Yeah. I think some people get like way too like they get indoctrinated into the thought that they need to dip things.
Mm-mm.
I hate dipping chips. I will never do it. And people are like,
Chips are chips.
they're like, what's the dip? I'm like,
Chips are
like, if
chips.
the chip is good, you don't need dip. Done. Like
If the chip is a chip, then you don't need dip, and I don't want any lip.
I'm sorry, except I'm not. I'm not sorry
No.
because I just don't want dip. If the chip is good, I just eat the chip.
If the chip is good, then you'll get a quip. I don't bip. Bip.
period.
On Perion.
Dom period.
Parmesan. Flowers for Parmesan.
Champagne, but it's pronounced like lasagna.
Champagne.
Champagne. Lasagna, but it's pronounced like champagne. Lasagne.
Lasagne?
Would you like a heaping helping of lasagne?
Fuck me up. I've only ever heard the first part of that. I never thought to take it to the fullest extent of the law.
So the other half of the question was for me. Eric, what are your thoughts on brownies with frosting? I've always been told a good brownie doesn't need frosting or it's just chocolate cake. However, I think frosting is an added perk. Well, adding frosting to a brownie does not make it cake because a brownie and a cake are two different things.
So let's have that conversation.
Unless you make cake-style brownies, in which case you're literally just making cake.
In squares.
Which is okay.
Dude,
but like fudgy brownies are where it's at. If I want cake, I'll buy cake.
Yeah. But it's got to be a slightly like thick fudge. You can't do thin frosting.
I don't think they need frosting if it's
Brownies
on there.
Are brownies.
If it's on there, like, okay, sure. But like, I don't know. Brownies are already like, they're sugary enough.
And they're
like,
heavy.
They're dense. I don't need also like frosting on top of that.
Well, it's like cupcakes. I tend to be a like lick the frost. Like I'll scoop, like cut the frosting off. I like the wet top from the frosting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Spit on it before, but like I scoop it off because it's too much sugar. And that's like the frosting is just sugar. And it's like the cupcake is enough. I want to enjoy the cupcake. I don't need all that.
I'm that nasty girl who like I rip the cupcake in half and then put the bottom of it on top to make it into like a little sandwich. It's very clean and nice. Change your life. Get into it.
I didn't know you could do that.
Oh, you can. People don't tell you that.
That's what they don't teach you at Harvard
They
Business School.
don't fucking teach you at Harvard Business School.
Have you seen that meme? That's one of my favorite memes of the there's two books and it's, yes. What they teach you at Harvard Business School, but they don't teach you. It's like, this contains all of the knowledge of the universe.
Yes.
Halloween.
Okay. There is also one other question.
Okay.
It's not Jeopardy.
That's fine.
And then we'll Jeopardy.
I understand.
This is from Loop. 13th Fae. Follow-up cues. For Eric, that's me. When recording the sleepy audios, do you actually do those before bed after waking up, or are you just really good at imitating exhaustion? What makes you think it's an imitation?
Imitation crab. I can make myself lightheaded. I don't know why that was so funny.
You really got yourself with
I think
that
it's just
one.
giant enemy crab, just imitation crab.
The first couple that I did actually be like, I gotta do it like when I'm like just waking up or going to sleep. And then after I did one, I was like, I can just fake this.
Well, now you know what to expect.
Yeah, so then I was just like, oh, I can just fake it. So, I'm just really good at imitating exhaustion.
Good.
For both of us, what are 2 video game characters from different universes that you'd like to see have an all-out battle, and who do you think would win? I want to see have a battle. I want anyone to just kick Kirby's ass because I fucking hate him.
Kirby just takes it like he doesn't even give a shit.
I want Kirby to fight some sort of eldritch abomination. Oh, wait, that literally is what all of his games are, and he wins.
Mm-hmm. I want to see One Punch Man fight Kirby, Saitama.
I just keep thinking about it. I'm like, okay, who can fight Kirby? I'm like, it can't be Isaac Clarke because it'd be like cut off the limbs and he'd keep like stomping him, but he's just like rubber, so he'd just keep bouncing back.
Monkey D. Luffy at that point. Oh, that's not. Oh, yeah, One Piece. There's a video game of One Piece. There's like a million of them. He's made of rubber too. That could maybe
Dante's Inferno. He can reap Kirby.
Why did you say Kirby? Because now I can't not think of Kirby. I'm so fucking pissed that you've done this to me.
I want Kirby to be defeated.
I'm trying to think like who's super powerful in games or like just like interesting.
Or someone that can just make him go away.
Mm-hmm. I would say Bayonetta versus Kirby, but that's just Smash Bros.
Just Smash Bros. Like, who else? I'm like, Mr. Chef couldn't stop him. Mm-hmm. It's like, what is he going to do? He's going to swallow the rocket.
Give Kirby back his bomb.
Exactly. What are we going to do?
Could Kirby beat the...
We'll send Kirby into slip space.
Could Kirby beat the Flood?
I don't know what would happen when he eats one.
An anti-flood weapon?
I don't know.
but he can spit them back out.
Gravemind versus Kirby.
I don't know.
Kirby doesn't have I don't think Kirby has a central nervous system, so the Halo array wouldn't work on him. Oh, God. What can defeat him?
I haven't played enough shit that has, like, overpowered bullshit in a while, so I'm, like, trying to rack my brain. I'm like, what have I played recently?
He needs to just be sent away. Can we send him to some alternate universe? Who has that ability to just sort of, like...
Put him in a... Well, you can seal them, but, like, there'll always be someone that wants to unseal.
But as long as that's long enough in the future, I won't have to face the horror that is Kirby anymore.
All right, I want Kirby to fight Alan Wake. Who's just a writer.
No, that still probably wouldn't work on him. Do you think Kirby's immortal? Biologically immortal?
No.
Oh, you think he will age?
Oh.
Like, barring an attack or an incident, do you think Kirby would live forever?
Yeah, he's just going on adventures and shit.
Because there's, like...
I feel like Kirby is almost like a godlike property, like from American Gods, where his people's belief in him and the friendship and bonds and stuff, like, the memory of him is what keeps him alive and gives him his power.
So we need to go on a slander campaign.
I'm not saying that we should pull some, like, Code Goss level, like eradicate him from history, like only by being forgotten.
We need to erase him somehow.
I actually have something really good for this, but it's a spoiler.
Okay.
It would really beg the question. All right, massive spoilers for Chainsaw Man, and I'm going to do this the whole time, so please, like, skip until I don't do this. Mute it and skip it, because, like,
grip
it's
it and
important.
sip it and skip it.
If Chainsaw Man eats a devil,
okay,
and, like, truly consumes them and swallows them, they are removed from history and everyone's collective memory.
Okay.
Except in certain instances, which is very interesting, because it's like the word for these types of things doesn't exist anymore, because like Chainsaw Man ate it.
Right.
It's like, what the fuck does that mean? So if Chainsaw Man ate Kirby, what would happen? Because Kirby's also an infinite vast void.
I'd love to find out.
I have no idea. Halloween could probably beat him.
Okay.
But I don't want to go into that. I'll tell you that later. Okay. Enough of those.
Anyway, that was fun.
Yeah.
I just want Kirby to be defeated.
Yeah. Oh, otherwise I'd want, like, the Doom guy to fight Paimon or whatever the fuck, the stupid little shit from Genshin Impact. When I tried to play it, it's like, it's tiny and it's like, I'm going to help you and tell you what you need to do. I'm like, I want to just crush your head. And, like, I want Doom guy to kill it. And that's all I had to say about that.
Also, I want anyone to kill Isabella.
Yeah, but like I like Isabella.
That's okay.
Yeah,
I don't.
That's fair.
I want to see her defeated.
Do you know any characters that aren't in Smash?
Yes, Master Chef.
Okay.
Isaac from Dead Space.
Mm-hmm.
Morgan Yu from Prey. The cat from Stray.
That's reason.
Waddle Dee.
Bandana Waddle Bandana Waddle Dee, though. Like, fuck, man, I didn't even think about that.
Right. DeRoach.
You know who could? And I don't know. I haven't finished Jojolion and I haven't met Toru, but I think Toru could beat Kirby. I don't know. With his Stand Wonder Review.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know what these
where
words mean.
It's essentially like entropy or like misfortune of every caliber. Like you going up to, like, you just walk towards them and you die. Okay. Like you can't touch them, sort of thing. And like he would just walk towards Kirby and have disaster strike, but I think Kirby is he'd high his way out of it. I want Kirby to once go fuck book, or if he took his shoes off, he has the really detailed feet, like in that one picture. Yeah. Anyway.
I just want Kirby to say bye instead of hi
for some bye pride.
Yeah. Kirby's on the wrong side of the LGBT.
Dude, Kirby will suck anyone off. He doesn't care.
When Kirby's on the wrong side of history, remember this day.
Kirby apologists out there typing in chat.
I don't see him changing his avatar for Pride Month.
We're just asking questions.
I'm just doing research.
Kirbenhan.
Oh my god.
Sorry, that's too political.
Okay. Are we ready for Jeopardy?
Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. That's not. Let's go.
I'm so excited for the new Mario Kart maps. That's all I have to say.
I gotta
about
buy
that.
the DLC. My sister and I got into it yesterday because I was like, they bought me, Mims got me for my birthday the Switch Sports so I could play bowling, and I'm like, she's like, why are you like so excited about bowling? You don't shut up about it. And I'm like, because
maybe
it's
we
fun.
don't yuck each other's yums.
Exactly.
CC.
And she's like, it's not different from the Wii one. Like,
well,
it's
you
the
don't
same.
have a Wii.
All of it.
So
I'm
done.
like, and also they've included different things, and I'm like, the bowling in it, in my opinion, is better because there's a lot more to it. It's a lot more fun. Granted, you got to get used to that, but it just was like, I'm like, why are you hating?
Right. Mm-mm. Don't shit on other people's excitement.
Unless it's bad.
Well, but shit on it in private, not to their face.
Mm-hmm.
I love to mock people for being excited about stupid shit. But I don't do that to their face. Let them have that. That's their business. Because I know people are shitting on my excitement. But do it in another room.
Yeah.
I love refrigerators.
Oh, man. Not me thinking about all the times I've been excited about something. Ooh, all right, let's play some Jeopardy. I always talk you up.
Odie, your answer is Dio.
What is... Who am I? Or...
Who is? It's me.
In a long-running anime series, first taking place in the 1800s English countryside, this person, after sexually assaulting a betrothed, said, "It was me." There you go.
That's correct.
I feel like
200 points.
in hindsight, we should have had them ask Jeopardy questions.
Yes.
And then we come up with our own answers that seem like they'd fit.
Yeah, to call this Jeopardy is a bit...
I think we are in Jeopardy.
Yeah.
What's the opposite of Jeopardy? Security? Hey guys, we're playing security. I gotta look. Okay. Oh, you had your...
That was from Mario, by the way. I was going from the bottom up.
Oh, should I go from the top down?
I think so.
Okay. So
That way
actually,
we're less likely to see them as we're reading them to each other.
Space Antlers 26 actually did a Jeopardy question, which is totally fine too. It is...
Some would argue it's the better way that I should have explained to have it done.
We got a little too excited. We could do that for next week, though. I guess
Googled the fool.
I'd be more than happy to do that next week of like a correct Jeopardy of provide us like be creative. Like there is no right. Like don't give us the answer.
Right.
It's very much of just what kind of bullshit do we come up with.
Yeah.
To flex our creative because that's a better improv.
Mm-hmm.
Double Jeopardy noise. Wow, wow. A plush toy with a 2-word name. They are available in both cut and uncut varieties.
Moosh moosh. What is moosh moosh?
I think that's right, actually. I think it is the moosh moosh.
What is moosh moosh?
Oh, I didn't even think of that, dude. You're fucking big brain. Good job. Ah, damn. Okay.
I did think of it right, just like not quite right. Like we should have done it the other way. So like they did the inverse, which is better. Because like all of these would be phrases that like we're already getting the answer. So like Maria's like one for me was bionicle. So it would be like, what is bionicle? But so like now I'm having to do the harder work, which is I have to like say the...
Oh, yeah. Oh, do we want to do that?
I made this complicated.
Do we want to do that? We can swap it.
Well, it's too late now.
No, it's not.
What do you mean? Swap what?
Like, what they said is, like, it is just, what is bionicle?
Right.
And then you got to come up with...
We're giving, like, the Jeopardy prompt.
Yeah, but, like, now it's like, now we got to answer it. So, like, and kind of coming up with something memey.
Yeah. I'm just realizing I fucked this.
It's okay.
I fucked this.
It's okay.
All the way down.
Yeah, this was really fucking hard.
I fucked this up.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm just giving you at this point, it's not really Jeopardy. It's just, here's an answer. What's the question where this would be the answer?
Yeah.
It's a very simplified version of Jeopardy.
I hope Regis doesn't, like, ask us
Mr.
about
Philbin?
this. Yeah.
Mr.
Philbin is not filled in on this.
He doesn't even know how to host
Please
Jeopardy.
don't tell Vanna White that I did this.
That's also not Jeopardy.
It's all on GSN, so stop.
Chuck Woolery. Let's play Lingo. My mom loved to watch Lingo.
I never watched Lingo. I was a big fan of...
It annoyed the shit out of me.
I don't...
It was Wordle before Wordle.
What was the game that
Wordle is Lingo.
Yeah, Wordle is Lingo. Lingo is Wordle. What is the game that is where Double Whammy's from?
Press
Big
your luck.
money, no
Press your luck.
Yeah.
I fucking love that game.
No whammies. No whammies.
No whammies. Stop.
Damn. Loop's 13th Fay for Jeopardy.
Okay.
A lifetime supply of Vegemite flavored lube.
What is certain Australians' dream? It sounds bad. I don't like the thought of that.
Yeah.
Also, Vegemite it's a yeast extract. I really don't think you should be putting that in certain areas. Sorry to say.
It wasn't bad.
Sorry to this man.
I felt like it was overhyped.
Vegemite? Yeah, I didn't
like overhyped how bad it would be.
I found it neither. Well, because we didn't eat it in the way. Because when people find it horrifying, it's because they're eating it wrong. They literally take a spoonful of it.
Oh, so we ate it right, and
we ate it properly, and so I didn't find it good or bad. It was just sort of there.
Yeah, savory. I probably wouldn't go out of my way to make a Vegemite toast.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was handed Vegemite toast that was made correctly, I would still eat it.
Yeah, I didn't like it, but I didn't hate it.
I didn't dislike it.
I didn't dislike it.
Mm-hmm.
I felt very little about it. Jeopardy! 350 slices of pizza.
Stop. Pause.
Stopping.
I have a way to fix this.
Okay.
So they have given us the answers.
Yes.
What I think we do is I see like there's an answer. So like, for example, a lifetime supply of Vegemite.
And you try to ask a question that'll get me to
I
answer
ask
that.
a question and we're going to see if we can get them right. I think that's how we recover this.
Okay.
So that there is a correct answer.
Some of these are very difficult.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
But I think we could have more fun with that.
Okay.
And we can salvage this.
Okay.
This monstrosity that we've created.
I'm
so for this one it would be.
Okay.
Category is food love.
Food love.
I'm going to redo this one, but just so we can get into the groove of it.
Right. Okay.
This delicacy, if you were, this delicacy is sometimes used by adventurous and, quite frankly, uneducated Australians as a sex product.
What is a lifetime supply of Vegemite flavored lube?
Well, I guess if it's Vegemite flavored lube, you could probably get away with the yeast. But I feel like it's
how are you gonna get the flavor without the yeast?
And I only meant uneducated, as in like you don't know that yeast should not go there.
That should not go there.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Like,
sounds like you're slandering all of Australia.
Well, how about they unclip their bungee and come fight me? Oh no, they fell off the earth.
Did they fall in because the toilet went backwards?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, in Australia, the toilets suck you in.
Oh yeah, no, they put poop up.
Yeah, they put the poop back in your body.
Well, so they don't poop there. They have a need for poop.
Well, that's where all of our poop goes, is into Australia and up into them.
The Australians carry our sins.
Yeah.
Stop. Imitation crab.
Imitation crab. Okay. This was provided by Clear Skies. These items might be found in the trapper keeper of an anxious fourth grader who's a little overly prepared.
Oh God.
With an anxiety problem.
Mm-hmm. Is it the little scrunchies that you would put on a pencil for grips?
I love the thought of it, and you're close.
Oh, really? What is it?
4 slightly chewed pencils.
Damn it! Oh, that was good. This is fun.
This is good
because now it's like I do get to try to come up with it.
Right.
The question part is hard.
This works better.
In the hit musical Rent, a lot of the characters often sing about how long it takes for them to renew their lease. How long is that? How many minutes is that?
525,600?
Correct. Yes, it was hard. It's hard. Now I'm like, in hindsight, it's like...
That's how many minutes are in a year, not how long they have to renew their lease, is it?
Well, you renew it every year. I'm assuming.
Oh,
not
yeah,
them.
that's
Their
right.
friend owns the building and is kicking them out anyway. Like Bohemia sucks. So grow up.
I've never watched Rent.
I
But I had to sing that song once at school.
I really loved it.
And it lingers in my mind.
I liked the movie.
It haunts me.
Okay.
Okay. So the problem is some of these they did one for each of us, so it's a little. It's okay. So I'll do this one for you. Okay. This is the constant reminder that you can never truly escape the thing living in your house that you feed.
Zuki. What is Zuki?
More specific, what's the reminder that you can never escape him?
Zuki biting my fingers.
Close. Zuki's paw under your door.
Oh, paw on the door. Classic. Classic.
Even doors can't stop him. He'll get you.
If you were to pay only what the sticker price for a can of spray paint was,
Okay.
and then used it on the building that you purchased it at, what 2 crimes have you committed?
Why can I not think of the word? All I can think of is arson, and it's not arson.
No, it's not arson.
It's not plagiarism. Oh my god. Vandalism. Okay, so that's part of it. And the other part was that I paid sticker price for it. Well, then I'm just a fool.
If you paid only sticker price and then went outside
Mm-hmm.
and used it on the building, what 2 crimes have you committed for a can of spray paint? This one's tough. Vandalism is correct.
Vandalism. I don't know. Sticker shock vandalism.
No, we were looking for tax evasion.
Okay.
Yeah, see,
Okay.
I was like, it's real
Got
hard to
it.
get that in, but like,
I was thinking the other way around. I wasn't thinking that I haven't paid the tax on the item. I was thinking that the crime I've committed was not looking for a deal.
oh, see, that's it. Because it's like the sticker. I meant like, the other
Right.
store, they say it's $3.99. It's like that's before tax,
Right,
though,
you're
because
dodging
it's
your
state
taxes.
taxes.
I got you.
That was a good one.
I got you.
I say to me as I did a good one.
Okay, hold on. Oh, there's a lot here. Okay.
Oh, sometimes they give them for both of us. And I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
I ran into that.
Mhm. Which I'm just gonna make it so like you get a 2-banger.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I can go back and give you something. This.
Ooh. You don't have to go back. We'll just do like whatever one we read.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the one. Just because I don't want this to go on forever.
This is the recipe for the world's worst lubricant.
1 table. Is it the one that has like 1 tablespoon? Okay. I'm not gonna do measurements because I don't know
Okay.
that, but I'm gonna say lemon juice,
Mm-hmm.
sand,
Mm-hmm.
3 pieces of glass,
Okay. That's fair. Yours is a word.
a signed picture of Margaret
Thatcher.
Thatcher, and a roller skate.
Okay. It's 2 pumps of cornstarch, 1 tablespoon of hot sauce, 1 pinch of salt, 1 good amount of water, boil for 10 on high, cool overnight.
What is that?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know what it actually is.
Oh, okay. Nasty though.
Yeah.
I feel like it's sticky.
If you use that as lubricant, it would be hot and gross.
Oh, good to know. Like me. Use me for the night. Okay. Oh, that was it. That's
That was it.
That's it. Okay. So I'm gonna do. If it says it's for you, then I'm doing it for you. And like,
Right.
if we fucked this up,
We fucked it.
So-
I had a bad idea that we're not trying to
you had a good
salvage.
idea that we didn't like think the actual like doing it through. Okay. Although now not typically used, as far as I can tell, what used to be a more common form of executing a prisoner on death row would be this.
Hanging?
Ooh, sorry, we're looking for electrocution,
Oh, okay.
which I realized I could have done a much better way.
A little more specific, perhaps.
I mean, yeah,
It's
damn.
all good. Trying to think of the not like just obvious way to do it. Oh, this person is renowned previous member of the Bungie team who is now facing serious litigation from them.
What is Luke Smith? No.
Mm-mm.
No.
Music. I don't know if you know his name.
Oh, is it the guy that did all the copyright shit?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know his name.
Martin O'Donnell.
Okay, yeah. But I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. Damn. Oh, okay. Here's one. What is the quote? What is the catchphrase of that kid from high school whose mom would always yell at the coaches to let him play?
What's his catchphrase?
This is not like a reference or anything. It's more of like you'll understand.
Just a bit, yeah. Okay. What is the catchphrase of the kid whose mom would always say, "Let him play"?
Would always yell at the coaches to let him play on this team. At this point, it's almost like come up with something funny.
Right, which is harder. No bless yous for Giacomo.
No bless yous for Who is that? Okay, yeah, no, that's not it. This is like, see, this would be like a funny UK show where like no one ever gets any points. Like they're
Right.
always wrong.
Uh-huh.
We're on to something. This probably is a show.
I'm sure it is.
The answer we were looking for was, "Mom, get me out of here."
Oh, okay, yeah. That'll do it. Okay. This is the party equivalent to being the the DD and only bringing a gallon of gasoline and no car.
The party equivalent.
The party equivalent to being a DD who only brings a gallon of gasoline and no vehicle.
Oh, this is fucking hard. What is... What is French onion dip?
It's only bringing salsa and queso, but no tortilla chips.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take those points. It's close enough. Am I allowed to? I was like, I had a really good one for this, and I'm like, I shouldn't make abuse jokes, so I won't.
Make what jokes?
In karate, the highest rank is a black belt.
Yes.
Who in my house is the master of the belt?
What? Your stepdad?
I was saying my father. I couldn't think of anything. I'm like, as soon as I was in my head, I'm like, gremlin mode activate. I'm like,
Oh my god.
oh, but yeah, no, please, no, my dad didn't hit me. We're good.
Okay. This
Okay.
is how old you will be in 12 years.
I feel like I'm gonna get this answer wrong no matter what. Is the answer 42?
The answer is 42.
Was that in Junkiets?
Yes, it was.
Okay, so we're caught
We've
up.
met.
Yeah.
Okay.
So last two,
Okay.
which sucks because I've read that other one.
So I still have one, or is this the last one?
Well, okay, so the next
I
one was
haven't read the one above this.
okay, above 42.
That's as far as I have read.
Okay, so then stop.
Okay.
Joyu said Archaeopteryx,
Archaeopteryx?
and I don't know what that means, so I'm sorry.
Archaeopteryx is a
Dinosaur?
It was the dinosaur that is like it proved like a linkage between dinosaurs and birds.
Oh, cool.
It's a very bird-like dinosaur.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Understand.
If you're a big fan of a cyberpunk aesthetic
Okay.
and you drink to forget,
Uh-huh.
you might call it this.
Keanu Reeves Magnum Dong.
Close, but the answer we were looking for was synaptic pruning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See, that was a good. That was a
Okay.
good. I was good on that one. Hell you. GG. Party up.
But we did a decent job of salvaging my bad idea.
No, it was a good idea that we didn't. I don't think it was a bad idea.
It wasn't thought all the way through.
Mm-hmm. We recovered it though.
Yes.
And I think that would be fun. I think that is fun the way that we did it.
Yes.
But also, like, as much as I love, like sometimes it's hard because it's like Bionicle. Like, it'd be so much easier to come up with a question like,
right.
What children's toy is currently loved by 29-year-olds who can't grow up?
Right.
Bonko. Known on the island of Matanui.
Yes.
What toy franchise has people with dumb masks?
I would know. Because ain't shit dumb about it.
You goddamn right. And let's have that conversation. Yeah.
Conversation.
I hate it. I hate how much we influence each other. It's always pain.
Sorry, King. Imitation crab.
Imitation crab. I went and I ordered a seafood salad, and you know what was in it? Imitation crab. I don't know why that was so fun. Just the aggressiveness. Gosh. I'm doing something kind of wild. I mentioned it earlier, and it will already have happened by the time that people hear this.
Right.
If you're hearing this, it's too late. But so recently, whenever there's been official Pokemon news for
Pokemon nudes.
Oh, I'm fully aware of the Pokemon nudes. But for Scarlet and Violet, when the stuff's come out, I'd be like, I'll do like a reaction video before, like, hopefully, before people like fuck my ass up.
Right.
I'm like, in their excitement of like, oh my God, Odie, hear this. And I'm like, oh, that was like the big reveal of this part. It's like, God damn it, it's fine. But like also like if I don't know. So what I decided to do is I'm like, I'm going to wake up early tomorrow and I'm going to go live at like
I'm going live
5:45 because at 6 a.m. Pacific they're going to have a reveal of sort. Or, they're going to be Pokemon thing.
Teasy trade.
They do. It's like the tree houses and stuff like that. So I have no idea how long it'll take. Whatever. But I'm like, anyone who's up can hang out with me, and then I can just like record it, and then that's like the video. I don't have to like do it myself and I'm not going to edit it or anything. But then it's like kind of more fun because it's like with everybody, and there's like a live reaction, and I'm like, if this pans out well, this could be kind of fun because like my very first instinct of like all the videos I watched when I was learning, like when I wanted to become a streamer, and so you watch videos that are how to stream, and it's like
how to stream.
You want to make sure that like
you want to be on top.
Imitation crab. If you're gonna stream, like you want to like if you're going to do a stream session, you don't want to do like a real short one because like that could fuck up your numbers and stuff. And it's like, that shit matters if you're trying to hit like affiliate or whatever. I'm like,
if I'm trying to raise my ability.
I'm not, as much as I would love to hit partner by the end of the year, I don't think that's possible.
You shouldn't hit your partner.
No, I shouldn't. Well, the thing that I would need to hit partner status would be 75 average viewers every stream in like a 30-day period, which like,
that's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like my birthday stream was really good. I got rated. I think I hit like the most I ever had, which was like my on my own channel. I think I hit like 81 people, and I believe that's like the most I've ever hit. I don't think I've ever hit triple digits, but due to a raid and stuff. But it was still really fun, and like for the most part, like people were hanging out with me all day, like at like 50. So it was kind of like it was pretty cool, not bad. I'm having a good time. Very cool, exciting. But it's like I can't hit that realistically, so it's like that doesn't matter. But like when you're very small, that can matter. Like you having one, like that actually happened to me where like I was like, I can hit affiliate in a week if I let that one stream like drop because I was starting to grow. And so it's like, okay, it'll come in time. But then I was like mad and jealous because like Zach was doing his streams where he was playing
Flight
Simulator, because he was like not furloughed, but like being paid to stay
on
home.
break.
Yeah, like it was when they did like all the pilots and stuff. They weren't flying with COVID and everything, and then like he had hit affiliate, and I was like, what the fuck?
What the fuck fuck is up, Kyle?
Oh, I felt true jealousy. Like that competitive, like, this is what I want to do, and he's just doing it for fun, and he's so much more successful than me. And it's
on
like
QVC, on QVC.
on QVC. And it's like,
stop stealing dreams.
It's like, okay, well, he's doing something that he loves. And like he's doing like, you know, money's all for like charity stuff, but also like it's a very specific game. Like,
Right.
I'm not going to go out of my way to go watch Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Well,
But if you're into it, you will want to see it, and especially if the person is an actual pilot, like
Right.
trained and like you know, not just like tons of people. I mean, you can teach yourself to fly kind of through it. Like it's a very good tool and
I've
stuff.
seen Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah.
Keenan teaches himself how to fly through Flight Simulator.
Wait, really? Is that part of the movie?
Yeah.
That's fucking hysterical.
Well, and then like, because the one guy's like hyping him up. He's like, because they're like, the pilot says like, does anyone know how to like land the plane or whatever? And no one's saying anything. And then the one guy's friend, is it not Kenan Thompson? Maybe the one from SNL.
Yeah, Keenan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless
yeah.
Yeah, he's his friend is like, man, you know how to fly. Like you've like logged so many hours, like you can do it or whatever. And then he is just kind of like, he's like, I've got like a lot of hours or whatever. And then like he gets in there and he gets to the seat and he's like, it was all on Flight Simulator.
Yeah, like this isn't the same.
But he does it. He pulls it off.
Yeah, well, that's good. I love that. That's a good ending.
And they survive. Oh, spoiler alert for Snakes on a Plane.
It's an old movie.
Oh my god.
My favorite Cobra Starship album.
Listen,
Or
the
song.
city is at war, and people don't talk about that.
Fangs up Cobra Starship.
Cobra Starship.
Okay, but like Cobra Starship's such a fucking mood, though.
Hell yeah! When you're in the mood for it,
I'm like, where is my zebra print jacket?
it does the deed. Yeah, Kenan Thompson, I was correct.
Okay.
Good.
Only other exciting things I can say is that it will be nice to go. I don't know if you'd want to go today, considering it's 2:30. If you did want to go see Nope at like, I think it was like 4:15 or 4:30, and we can maybe go get like a late lunch, early dinner. But I don't know what your whole situation is.
Yeah, I don't know.
You could just say no, it's okay, and we could do it another time.
I think I'd rather do it another time.
That's fine. I'm hurt.
Yeah.
But also I'm not, because it's like, okay, well, like, would we just dick around until we need to go? And like, after hearing about
On my new original Xbox.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah.
You got a new Xbox?
I got an original Xbox.
Like the old school?
The old shit.
Why?
Because I wanted one.
What are you playing on it though?
Halo Combat Evolved.
Oh, like the true
The original.
But you have to use that big ass controller.
It's not that big though. The original,
Oh.
like the Duke controller is huge. But
Okay,
like,
with the black and white buttons?
yes. It is crazy though to hold that controller because first of all, there's no bumpers. There's just triggers. I forgot.
Do you remember how insane like bumpers were?
No, because like for me, I mean like I didn't grow up with video games. So like I only ever played them occasionally like at friends' houses and stuff. The first console, I bought myself a Game Boy
64
Advance.
had it. Yeah.
But like the first console I had was a GameCube. And so it had one bumper. And then soon after my GameCube, and I didn't get that till like...
I thought GameCube had... Oh, no, it has the
it
Z
has
button.
the Z button, which is kind of like a bumper. And then like the first like real console I had was a 360. So I was used to like, you know. So it was weird because I didn't even realize. I'm like squeezing. I'm like, there's no bumper. I was like, where's all the buttons?
Oh, no, there's buttons.
Oh, there are. There's the black and white buttons down here. And I'm like, what
Which,
the
like,
fuck is
you
this?
don't know what they mean.
Well, I know the white, but I always remembered the white button because it was the flashlight. Because I was like, it's white flashlight. That makes sense.
Oh, because like specifically for the one game.
Yeah, specifically for Combat Evolved.
Which, like, now that I'm thinking about it, like the Nintendo 64 controller, like, did have the bumpers, but then it also had a trigger on the middle.
Yes, and only the one joystick.
One joystick, which like is wild.
3 handles, because you choose, you decide.
It is an iconic. Like I do love the
wild.
look of it. The aesthetic of it is great. Like I love like the purple.
Yes.
Like ghost, like the frosted, like kind of see through is real cool.
I have the one that always like is in my head is the yellow Donkey Kong one because Brandon had one of those. But yeah, it's wild to be on the original Xbox though. First of all, the original Xbox menu
is sick.
It was fucking sick. It still holds up and
like
it slaps. And for me to have to set that to 2022, that was a wild time because when you very first boot it up, it's like, tell me what date it is, and I was like, I don't think they ever intended someone to type in 2022 in this thing.
Like I remember playing Did Halo 2 come out on it?
Yes,
I think it did.
It was the last Halo. That
I
was on the
remember
original.
playing Halo 2 online, and
Yeah.
like Zach and I would watch like only at Zach's house, and we would watch like Machinima.
Yes.
Because like Zach, before his parents divorced, his dad built them like a sweet ass movie room, kind of like what we did or what you guys did in the old apartment, and or old apartment.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. And so like built like them a theater room and whatnot, and it was real cool, and like have like the seats and stuff, and like we would just sit and play, and like it was so much fucking fun, and like playing online was sick, and like the fact that you could and people did.
Yeah.
Fuck SnowRun, I hate SnowRun.
Well, because Halo 1 didn't have online multiplayer.
No,
It only had like LAN and stuff,
which was still sick.
which was still sick. Halo 2 was the first one that had Xbox Live, and like Halo 2 kind of like, if I'm remembering correctly, Halo 2 kind of like really was like what got Xbox Live going.
Really reinvented the game.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, 100%. Like it was big.
Yeah.
And that's why Halo 3 was huge. And like in my opinion, like Halo 3 is the best game in the series. It's the only one that I would still play. It's the one I've played the most.
It was the pinnacle in a lot of ways, I would say. It's the best at a lot of things. Not everything.
I think it's also important to remember that like that's at the age that I was too. Like it has the biggest impact to me out of all of the Halo games. That does not mean that like it's just dog shit afterwards and was dog shit before, because it's always like no one wants to hear that like something you did 20 years ago was your peak.
Right.
Like it's like no, I agree. Like it's hard because it's like you can only capture what made something like magical once.
Right.
And once people have that, they want to recapture it, and the truth is you can't, and you're never going to. And a lot of that's like expectations, hype culture, and other shit.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things that was like, I'm sure that even if Halo had stayed in Bungie's hands, like it would have changed in a way. Like even with Reach, like Reach was definitely a shift from Halo 3 that was not, for a lot of people, it was not really like better. Like a lot of people didn't find it to be like an improvement, but especially like Halos 1, 2, and 3, the multiplayer in particular was very like iterative. So it was like each of them was just kind of building on the same kind of like feel of like gunplay and everything from like the previous game.
Also Bungie.
Yeah. And so like it felt like a natural continuation of it. And then like Reach was a continuation, but like it did have some like changes that people didn't like Bloom. But then I think what was with
what is Bloom?
When you shoot the gun, your reticle expands, and so it makes it so you get less accurate for a little bit right after you fire. So if you fire like continuously, it's like you become less and less accurate.
Which is correct.
Yeah, but the way that it was balanced was very not great at first.
Did Bloom exist, just not visually
No.
in the other games? No, it always was dead on.
Yeah.
Wherever you were shooting.
Well, however accurate the weapon was, it stayed that accurate or inaccurate the whole
as
time.
opposed to burst.
Right. So like not every gun like is as accurate as the next one. You know, so like if you're shooting the assault rifle and you're holding the trigger, even in Halo 1, like you're not hitting the dead center every time.
Yeah.
It has spread, but like the act of holding it doesn't make it get worse. You know? So yeah, so there's like some stuff with it. But I think like what Halo 4 and 5 like their kind of like difference is that like not only does like time just march on and like, you know, like it's not going to be the same, and like so some people like, you know, can't get over that. It was purposely very different because they were trying to set their own standard as a new company, because that was when 343 took over.
Because they kind of like, we are the same, like we are the like the people who stayed on, like we love Halo, we want to continue Halo, but we also need to have an identity as well. We can't just...
They wanted to make it their Halo.
Yeah.
And I think part of the reason why they did that was because they didn't want to like be held to those expectations, which I can understand. But the problem is,
maybe I'll play Infinite today.
You're going to be, it's really good. You're going to be held to those expectations. Even if you try to like, even if you're trying to separate yourself from it and be like, this is a new experience. Humans compare shit.
Yeah.
It's just what we do. So
we're humans. That's what we do.
So I think that was the biggest thing, was it's like Halos 1 through 3 and even Reach, like it felt like it was just like building, whereas like Halo 4 felt like a reset. And so like it was inherently going to be more divisive.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
I've been playing on the original Xbox. The triggers feel so gummy. comparatively, and it's not the controller because I've tried multiple controllers. It's just they were set up differently back then. It was less like hairpin, kind of like
hairpin or like the haptic feedback.
Yeah,
like
it was a lot more like you have to pull that trigger, like you gotta want it.
Yeah.
it's just really weird. It's crazy.
You just get used to it. Well, it's kind of like when you like. I remember. I think I talked about it before. Like I was used to be so used to the Xbox 360 controller. I played Destiny for the first time at Brandon's house and like a new character.
Yep.
And I was like, this like is controller is massive. How the fuck would you ever? And I'm like, now it's like, why would I want to use that cramped 360 controller? It's a nightmare.
That weirdly like curved and banked. I'm like, this isn't right.
But at the time, it was cutting edge. Like it was the biggest because it's
360 was my favorite for a long time.
Comparison's the thief of joy. If you compare others instead of like the same, it's like it's only worth comparing. Like the controllers have improved continuously over time. And don't you have like? Did you get like the Super Pro cool one that's like you like customizable?
Yes, I did.
And it has like the like instead of the D-pad, it's like actually like the like omnidirectional thing.
Yeah,
is that cool?
I've never used it.
That's a five.
I own it, but I've never used it.
Never set it up. Yeah.
Because I love because like there are different, Xbox One controllers, and I specifically love the sport models that they made, which are the ones where like it actually has like the rubber like grippy on the back.
Yeah.
And so like I'm committed to those because those are those are the best.
I really liked
their thumbsticks feel really good.
The one that I have now, which is kind of the only one you can really get, the Xbox One X ones.
Yeah.
Which when I first got one, there was like issues and I couldn't get it to connect, and it may have just been the one that I bought. But the only annoying thing, like the thing that is really nice but also really annoying, is that on the controller there's a button to do a screenshot, like a screenshot button. I hit it accidentally all the fucking time, but it is so much nicer if you do want to take a screenshot to just click the button and you don't have to like hit the menu, go to, or like, hit Y or X, whatever it is. But
I like that the Xbox One X controllers are USB-C.
Oh, yeah.
That's nice. And I like that they did like the grippy molding on the back, but they did it in the same hard plastic shell. It's not like rubberized at all.
No, it's not rubber, but it is like a grip.
Yeah. So like it's closer, but like I really like the rubberized grip
I want
ones.
that pink one that I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm also like I have a bunch of Xbox controllers and I still have them, and I'm like, they're all busted. Why do I still have these?
Yeah.
Electronic, like getting rid of, because it's like I don't want to, because like there's memories with these.
Right.
Like it's usable.
What if 3 friends come over and we all want to play on the Xbox 360?
None of that has ever happened.
It will never happen. It never has.
Like,
but it could.
Well, and like what I'm currently dreading is I realized that I was like, fuck yeah. I'm like, I have my Switch Sports now. And I'm like, my sister and I can play bowling if she wants. She won't, but I want to.
Right.
And I'm like, I can only use the right joystick. Or I'm like, depending on the game, the left Joy-Con has that drift. And it's like, okay, now if I'm curious if I play it, am I going to suddenly be like, like it's going to just do it? And I'm like, I don't want to have to fight. Yeah, but the problem is, honestly, it's the price. The price.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Like, even though like I have no problem spending, like, I'm becoming a lot more liberal with money in terms of like not like balking so much or like, under like I don't need to be like panic. A lot of shit, like just how I grew up, like
it's
like
internalized stuff.
Where it's like I was talking to a friend yesterday, and she was telling me about how like there's this really fucking amazing shirt that she really liked, and she was it's a nicer place, and she's like, fuck, it's like $50, and I'm like, but is it a good shirt and you really really like it? Because like that is expensive for a t-shirt,
right? Like
Macklemore said it right, $50 for a t-shirt. Psh, but it's like, but if it's something that like it's just good quality, you really fucking like it, like it's worth spending the money on something that makes you feel good.
Like, will you get $50 worth of enjoyment out of it? Then if you do, then you can do it. You know,
it's a weird feeling. It's like hard to like break that sometimes. And so like, in my head, I'm like, that's too much. And I'm like, it has always been $70-$80 for one Joy-Con. No. Is that only for the packs?
A pair of them is $70.
Oh, then maybe I never. Well, because I'm like, why would I buy a single? Even though I'm like, now that I'm realizing that, I'm like, I could just buy a single.
Well, a single probably is still more than half.
So you might as well.
It'd probably be worth it to just buy a double.
You You understand?
I understand, but also like
I say to the guy who has all the Joy-Con.
I have lots of Joy-Con, but like also just fundamentally, here's my thing: is like I don't actually think you should spend like $50 on a T-shirt unless you really like it.
Yeah.
But
time and place and experience as well.
Is how long have you been dealing with this Joy-Con? And I've been having to hear about it, and you've been having to talk about it
since about 6 months after I had my Switch.
Right.
But I have the Pro Controller, so it's fine.
Except when it's not.
Except for the very specific instances where you play games that actually use motion, and then it's like, well, I can use one.
Right.
Or like when I was on the plane, and Tyler and I went to Chicago, and I was like, we're going to play Mario Kart. And I'm like,
right.
And I said, this is unbearable.
And it's like, in the moment, is it expensive? Yes, because Nintendo can, so they do, which is shitty. But it's like, isn't it worth it after a while?
You buy it, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And then it would be nice to have 2 full sets.
Yeah.
And even if one is still a little busted, because then it's like...
That's just your backup one.
Well, and I probably, although now it's probably been long enough that it's not... Is it like an infinite warranty that if it's busted, you can send it back? Or I think it is, you have to do it in a time frame.
I think it's within a time frame.
Yeah.
I've never had any... I've gotten lucky, and mine haven't drifted, so I haven't had to know, but I think it's limited.
Well, and I think part of that, too, is that, when I first got my Switch, especially with some of the games I was playing portably. Mm-hmm. So, I wasn't playing docked using a Pro controller.
Yeah, I don't use mine off.
Because of that, you don't use it. Because, otherwise, that's where you get that drift when you're using it to run around and stuff. Right. Using it for, Mario Kart, because it's just an extra controller.
Right.
Is fine, but, yeah, so I just gotta, suck it up, Buttercup. Yeah. Or, just buy the one. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just, it just feels like I'm being defeated. Even though it's literally dumb, but I am also that bitch where the same thing. Even though I have a variety of Xbox controllers, I have about 4 or 5 that I've had to buy.
I got about 10 of them. I have every Xbox controller Xbox has.
I've been going to Seattle to I push it to the limit, and I'm like, okay, I actually have a special screwdriver kit that I bought that has all those special little ones specifically because I did get a controller. I got about another month out of this controller by jerry rigging it and breaking it apart and following it. And then there was a step that was so you want to get a soldering iron? And I'm like, I don't know that. So I'm not doing that. And I don't know what I'm supposed to, I'm just trying to get this to be mildly right and remove the limiter or whatever. And it's a pain in the ass. So I'm like, It is me wanting to make my... I want to get a green screen background. I'm like, I'll just build it myself, costing more than it would have been to buy, to get something that was all good and better. Yeah. Because it's but I will say, I still have all that PVC pipe, which I'm and I do have the green screen for it, and I have the other one I got to figure out how to set up of one of these fucking days. Mm-hmm. But
next time one of us gets sick, if you get sick, you can
green screen.
We'll film you in front of your green screen, we'll just put you right there.
That'd be such a vibe. That's a vibe.
I mean, that would be funny.
But yeah, you understand. But it's it would be useful for if we God forbid we needed essentially 2 on a short notice. No, we'll never need it. But there's also no reason for me to necessarily get rid of it. It's not taking up all that much space. Yeah. And it's I do have it. I also just well,
and there are some games that it doesn't matter for, and those are the games that you would usually get called in.
Oh, I meant the green screen, but yeah.
Oh,
but yeah, but controllers you mean? Wait, you're talking about controllers?
I'm talking about don't throw away the drifting one.
Yeah, because you don't necessarily need it. It'll work. It'll be fine. Yeah. So we'll see. I'll get around to it. Otherwise, I just use Pro Controller. To the point where it's no. And sometimes I'm man, I want to play this in bed, and it's you can. But unless you're playing a game that you're constantly using that, because Mario Kart, for example, is not a good game for that because you're not always you are using it, but you do let go of the left thumbstick. You don't realize it, but you're just okay, I'm going forward, okay, but but you're not constantly adjusting, so it does drift. Whereas the game that I think the game that I'm pretty sure I broke it on was Hades. But you're constantly moving, and sometimes if I stop and let go, I'm drift. I've lost a run because I beat the Hydra, the Bone Hydra, the second world boss, and got the items. I was like, cool. And I like stopped for a second and like checked my phone, and like it just drifted and just walked me into the lava and took all my lives. And I'm like, cool. I love this for me. So
Okay, yeah.
but this has been fun.
Yes.
Yes. Hello. Thank you. Thank you guys. Yeah. That's
Yes.
it. And I already did some announcement stuff, but I don't think, do we have anything planned this month?
No.
Okay. Good night.
Kiss on the lips. Byron.
Byron. Bye. Have a good night, guys. Bye.